Hello, welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet. We are back for season 2. Here we go. And we've got a new and improved set. Look at the set that we've got. There we
Lovely.
go.
I love that slow zoom out.
Absolutely beautiful.
Very dramatic.
And what a lineup we have got. Firstly, to my right, a man that has won the Premier League on 5 different occasions. Here, of course, John O'Shea. John, great to have you on the show. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. A little bit disappointed after losing to Hull yesterday, but apart from that, looking forward to seeing how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Mr Lampard get on today.
Yeah, coach at Reading now, of course. We'll talk about that in more detail later on the show. Alongside you, a man that we all know has been on many football socials, is Will Brazier, looking lovely with your new hair, Will. Really, really nice.
I've had this for about 2 years now.
It's a nice attention to detail today. Remind the viewers how they can get involved in the show, because it's an important part of the show today.
Yes, use the hashtag #TheFootballSocial and get involved at SoccerAM, at Football Daily. Get your questions in for John and we'll ask the best ones.
There we go. They are the details on our screen. And of course, to my left, Chris Hamill back on the show. Chris, how you been? Good to have you on.
Very, very good, thank you, mate. Yeah, just business as usual. I just can't wait to get the Football Social underway. Well, we have, haven't we? David, you excited to be here, mate?
Dave Jackson is our final person on the sofa. Yes. You will notice he's wearing an Arsenal shirt. New Arsenal shirt, Dave.
It is lovely, isn't it?
Is that a freebie?
Yeah,
Is that a freebie?
It was.
Yeah, I knew it was a freebie. I knew it was a freebie.
Go on, happy Dave?
I'm over the moon, yes. First win under our belt. And we march on to hopefully Champions League football again.
Yeah, OK, good result for Arsenal. John, just give us an insight. This is the opening weekend of the season. What's this like as a player? First weekend of the season.
Yeah, you're buzzing for it, especially if you've got through the whole of pre-season, no injuries, you're fighting fit, you're excited by maybe new players coming into the squad. Not necessarily Chelsea with a transfer ban, but the younger players that have gone out on loan coming back in to make an impact. So really exciting, but there's nothing better. You've been itching watching the game starting Friday night, Liverpool playing, then Saturday. By the time Sunday comes round 4 o'clock, 4:30, you're really buzzing for it.
Well, you mentioned the results there. Let's have a reminder of the results, because the Premier League season is back, which we're all very happy about. And there's a lot of goals that flew in as well. Liverpool kicked us off at Anfield on Friday night. That was Friday Night Football, beating Norwich 4-1. 4-0 up in that game as well. West Ham, dreadful start for West Ham, losing 5-0 at home to Man City. That included a hat-trick for Raheem Sterling. Man City always score goals away from home against West Ham, and this weekend was no exception. Bournemouth, Sheffield United drew 1-1. Good start to Sheffield United for life in the Premier League. Burnley defeating Southampton 3-0. Palace Everton 0-0, no goals in that one. Watford losing at home 3-0. And I was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yesterday to watch the mighty Spurs defeat Aston Villa 3-1. Thanks to 2 late goals from Harry Kane. Did you see those, Dave?
Yeah, I saw them.
There we go.
End of.
And of course, there were 2 games that we can bring you from earlier on today. Leicester played against Wolves. 2 teams, Chris, that we spoke about last season as 2 teams that could potentially try and break that top 6. 0-0, they couldn't be separated today. Which team do you think is more likely to do it this season, if it were to be one of them?
I mean, there's a band of teams, isn't there, that could challenge for that 6th place, owing to the inexperience of Lampard, the inactivity in the transfer market of Chelsea, the sort of lack of joined-up thinking at United, and that is Everton, Wolves and Leicester. But I do think, out of those 3 teams, that Leicester, with the signings they've made, have taken a significant step towards challenging Lampard's men this term round. I think the gap between them and United was 11 points last season. I think it's going to be smaller again this season. Wolves have signed Cutrone, which I like. They've got marginally better, but I think Leicester have done more significant dealings. Of course, let's see how the Maguire sort of export affects them. But has some very good centre-backs waiting in the wings in Sionku and Benkovic. So I don't think it will be too detrimental. But out of those 3 teams, man, I'm going Leicester.
Yeah, and of course, Wolves already started weeks ago their Europa League qualification. That's going to play a big part of the amount of games they've got this season.
It is. I remember a couple of seasons ago when Burnley were fortunate enough to qualify for the Europa League, scraped past Aberdeen in the opening stages and ended up losing to Olympiacos.
And this is the other game, Dave. I know that you want to talk about this. Arsenal winning against Newcastle, thanks to that man.
Yes, absolutely massive 3 points, you know. Away from home, whereas I was basically the main reason why we didn't get Champions League football last season, because we couldn't win enough games away from home. Very tough place to go. I thought it was a lot of OK performances. There wasn't one standout performance. Obviously, Aubameyang took his goal particularly well. I thought Xhaka had as well. Pepe looked OK.
Some big names on the bench today, wasn't there?
There was. All 3 of our new signings actually managed to come on.
Yeah.
As I said, I think the Pepe looked okay. I think he needs to get a bit more aggressive last season.
Do you?
Yeah, because there was a few bits where a few challenges went on when it went into him, and just to let him know that he's there.
He'll soon get accustomed to that.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Soon get accustomed. And I think the big thing with the probably 6 or 7. Maybe starters for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Maybe not even in the starting 11 today.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
As you said, a huge win.
Yeah,
huge
away from home. So very positive.
All in all, very happy. OK, we'll end the Arsenal chat there, Dave, because our feature game is, of course, Man United against Chelsea. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men against Frank Lampard's. And this is how Man United line up. De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw. At the back line, McTominay and Pogba as a 2 in midfield. In behind, Pereira, Lingard, Martial with Rashford up front. John O'Shea, your former club Man United, what are your thoughts on their lineup for the first game of the season?
Looking at that attacking 4, it's the speed, the hunger, you'd hope, the desire to impress the first day will be enough to get them over the line. But McTominay and Pogba are going to have a huge role to play. Controlling it, probably McTominay as well for his age, probably allowing Pogba to have a bit more influence today, letting him drift out to the left like he does, the covering position to stop the counter-attack. It's a huge step for him,
isn't it?
It's he showed glimpses of it last year, that he was more than capable of doing it, but he's just going to have to do it on a consistent basis now. And Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, you're thinking Shaw now for another full pre-season behind him. It was a horrific injury that he suffered. It was a good while ago now, but you think that he should be really firing this season. And if he can do, it's going to be a big plus for him.
OK, that's the Man United team. Let's have a look at Chelsea's starting 11 for the game at Old Trafford. Interesting lineup as well for Chelsea. Kepa in goal. Azpilicueta, who captains the side alongside Christensen, Zuma and Emerson at the back. Jorginho and Kovacic in behind. Pedro, Barkley, Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham up front. A lot of people very excited to see what Tammy Abraham can do for Chelsea. Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount both start. Frank Lampard, of course, famously giving a lot of minutes to the young players at Derby, and he spoke exclusively to Sky's Patrick Davidson just about how much and how important it is to give youth a chance this season for Chelsea.
I worked with young players last year at Derby and I loved it. I was that young player once, and they need to see that they have an opportunity to get into the team, and then the rest is up to them. So yeah, in a perfect world, they train well, they fit into the group well, which they all have already. The enthusiasm that young players bring to a squad is great to watch. There's nothing more that a Chelsea fan, and I'm a fan at heart, loves than seeing a young player come through that academy, come over here and go and play for Chelsea like it was the thing that they dreamed of as a young boy.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing that, and off the back of that as well, Derby gave more minutes to players aged 21 and under than any other Championship team last season. Do you expect Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham, those players, to feature heavily under Lampard this season?
Obviously, I would say maybe Mason Mount more so.
You think?
But we'll see with that. I think if Tammy Abraham gets off to a good start, he's gonna stay in there. But I think Lampard really has a shine for Mason Mount. He spoke, when you see him speak about him as well. Talks very highly of him, and I think we played Chelsea a couple of weeks ago in a pre-season game, and they went with a diamond in the second half when they kind of played their stronger team. So it'll be interesting to see how he does go with it today.
Do you expect Tammy Abraham to play a lot this season? We just saw a picture of the screen there. You can see these are the scenes now at Old Trafford prior to kick-off.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe play a lot, Chris?
Maybe out of necessity. Of course, Giroud was their second top goal scorer last season on 13, and a 34-year-old Giroud, as useful as he is, coming off the bench, is a little bit pedestrian, a little bit predictable up front for top 6 defences, isn't he? So Tammy Abraham will be a bit more mobile. Was very prolific inside the box for Villa. Didn't do an awful lot outside of it. And he's just got to take his opportunity, like John said. And there's a few players, there's some very similar parallels with Manchester United starting lineup and Chelsea's, isn't there? In terms of players that have to grasp their opportunities, he's definitely one. But yeah, when Pulisic's at full fitness, he'll surely come back in on the left. Will Mason Mount and Barkley then be competing for that number 10 position? Still a lot of question marks.
31 goal involvement, Premier League high for him, for Eden Hazard last season. He's gone now, Dave. I mean, that is a massive hole to fill for Chelsea, isn't it?
It is, and he was genuinely world class, and the fact they haven't been able to even get close to replacing him because of transfer ban. I know that fella's coming from Dortmund. I think they're really going to struggle. I think November, because I think Frank Lampard about to get the team going together like well, because he's about to motivate that team. But I think once they start playing like 1 or 2 games back to back, as in like when they're playing the Champions League and the league, I think they're really going to struggle.
John, do you think this transfer ban in a way could be a blessing in disguise, because Chelsea have so many young players, famously so many players out on loan? Surely now is the time they'll get their chance.
You'd hope so. If that squad of say kind of reserve team squad.
Yeah.
We've Reading at the minute have benefited from it. Players that have come in on loan
course.
last season as well. But if they can't get involved this season, they really will be thinking, where does the future lie for them at the club? Will they need to keep going out on loan again? But they've shown that has been a successful tool for them as a club as well. That the money, the finances they receive from some of the players that they do loan out, and players see how good they are. So
they raised about 16 mil selling players to Bristol, didn't they, Chelsea? This window, it's crazy.
The business model works well for them.
This is the live shots. You can see players in the tunnel now. Huge match for both clubs. Man United spent the most money in the transfer window. Chelsea receiving the most. 2 most successful teams in Premier League history, of course. 13 titles for United, 5 for Chelsea. And Chelsea actually got a good record at Old Trafford. 29 Premier League away points at Old Trafford, which is the most of any team. So it's a huge game for both clubs. Will, have we got any questions from social? Just remind the viewers again how they can get in touch, because we want all of your questions to come in.
Yes, use the hashtag #TheFootballSocial and get involved at Soccer AM, at Football Daily. John, big day for Harry Maguire. You played at the back for United. What sort of pressure's on, I was going to say on his shoulders, but we'll say his slabhead?
Look, he's going to deal with it. He will deal with it comfortably, like he has done every challenge that he's faced so far. There will be extra scrutiny on him. He knows that. He knows going to the club. He's been in there a few days now. He's realised what it's all about. And the players, all he will have spoken to him about it. He's got to rise to that challenge. I think he will.
One from Dora and Smithy as well. If Maguire's worth 80 million, how much would a prime John O'Shea go for in today's market?
Good question.
How'd
you rate yourself, John?
Pressure. Wow. Oh, at least 100 million. I could play in about 8 positions.
Love that. Great questions. Have more of them as we go, Will. Scenes of Frank Lampard, of course. First Premier League match as Chelsea manager. Record goal scorer as well. Huge start for him, Chris. Not the easiest place to go in your first game as Chelsea manager.
No, and he did a lot of very good things at Derby last campaign. A lot of fans spoke about the sort of the way he built back up the relationship between the club and the fans. But the cold hard numbers were that it wasn't a massive improvement on Steve McLaren. It was a good first year, a good inaugural year for a young manager. But then taking on the Chelsea job isn't exactly the next stage in that in that evolution, is it? Solskjaer, again, they're 2 managers who are in very kind of similar positions. I suppose there's a little less pressure on Lampard because people are kind of almost expect 6th place in a way. But with the signings that Arsenal have made, particularly in the dying embers of the window, I would say that these 2 are competing for 5th and 6th. What about you, boys?
It's a free hit for Lampard.
Don't agree, John.
Yeah, it will be until Christmas. When they're 10th and the Chelsea fans are kicking off again. Go on,
John. It's for me, it's that you think the top 3 will be City, Liverpool and Spurs.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. And I think if it's a big if, because if Rashford, Martial can somehow find the goals that the quality they've shown, I think that will push United into the top 4. But it's going to be so close between United, Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah, Chelsea have still got an unbelievable midfield. Of course, seeing Kante on the bench there is beyond weird, isn't it? But just that forward 3 just doesn't scream Champions League football to me for Chelsea. That's why I think they're going to be potentially 6th and Man United 5th.
Well, there is record signing Harry Maguire. Big game for him. No player, most expensive defender ever, Harry Maguire, so big pressure on him. But also, as well as that, Chris, we've got all of our price boots, courtesy of our mates at Sky Bet. Want you guys to get involved.
First one of the season, get in there,
and there are some absolute belters for you there. Maguire to score anytime was 8-1, that's 10-1. They're all on your screen now.
It's got worth 5, isn't it, that one, Smith?
Chelsea to win 3-1 was 28-1, now 40-1. So all of these price boosts, courtesy of our friends at Sky Bet. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. All odds are live and subject to change. For more information, go to skybet.com. So, should we do a little prediction time, guys? What are we saying? Score. Dave, starting with you.
2-2. Harry Maguire to score within the two.
Within the two, just at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Chris,
yeah.
what do you think?
2-2.
I mean, I think that... I mean, Manchester United don't have the best record against Chelsea of late. I think, only 2 losses for the Blues in the last 15 games? And United last season I think they conceded 54 goals, which is their worst record since the 70s, when John Babb was born.
I thought you were going to say when I was playing.
Got to respect the guests, John. I reckon it's going to be a closely fought 1-1.
Yeah?
I agree with that. 1-1 is also my prediction. I think it's going to be very tough to separate these two teams. John, you're going to go for your beloved Man United, I think.
No, I just think they'll just edge it. As we've spoken about, it'll be a tight game, and I just think they'll go 2-1 to United.
Will Brazier, as a Birmingham City fan, complete neutral in this.
Come on, what stupid bet have you concocted this time round?
I actually do think it will be 3-3 today. And I think Harry Maguire will score first. And I think it'll be goals.
Oh, for the value.
Yeah, coming for the value. Coming for the content, coming for the value.
Yeah, coming for the content and the value.
120 to 1, is it?
And the rest. I'll get you Jacob on later, John.
We have kicked off. We are just approaching the first minute of the game. Packed house at Old Trafford. We saw shots of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there.
Hello.
Henderson.
First bit of chance for
You see the speed
Chelsea.
of Wan-Bissaka there. Straight back in, covered.
Yeah, he's
well played from Wan-Bissaka.
John, we saw the crowd, the response he's going to get to that, he'll have some buzz inside him there, really. The feeling there. Great start from.
I mean, I know Manchester United are getting a little bit of they've come under a bit of scrutiny because they've been the highest spending team in the window, and they've not exactly plugged all those holes in the starting lineup, particularly on that sort of right hand side. But he could feasibly, be the right back for the next 10 years. It's sort of like the Rio Ferdinand situation. Being a former right back yourself, was he your first pick for the summer transfer spree that went on?
I think so. Just for the exact reason that you said, the longevity of it, the deal, the price will become maybe, hopefully, in 4 years' time, you'll be thinking, what a bargain. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy to think that. Yeah. But if he does go on to produce and show the quality that he does possess and sustain it, that's the key to it. If he can sustain that and the team will keep improving, I think that's the big thing for all the signings. If they can help the team get better and better, get back into that top 4, I think it'll prove a fantastic signing.
What about a few outgoings? I wanted to ask you about Romelu Lukaku. So obviously net spend was okay at United because they sold Lukaku for 75, but on a cusp of the window closing, and they didn't bring in another centre forward. Do you think that's going to be costly in the next 6 months? Where
we've spoken about. I've listened to Ollie in a couple of his interviews the last week, and you've seen him talk about Greenwood. Yeah. And if he is going to get some game time, that'll be key for him. Lukaku obviously would have been blocking that, and it's a hell of a sign of confidence from the manager and the staff in Greenwood.
He's 17, isn't he?
That's what I mean.
Going on 18.
Yeah.
Were you 17 when you made United debut? You were 17 when you joined United?
Yeah, 17 when I joined. 19 from my debut.
You went out on loan?
Yeah, had a couple of loan spells.
And without those loan spells, would you have been ready, to step into the first team? Because Greenwood, this is pretty.
As the manager, as Sir Alex used to say, I was a bit skin and bone, and I needed to get a few elbows and a few black eyes and stuff like that to be ready. And to be fair to me, he said that to me when I came back in. Then he said, "Oh look, thankfully I didn't get too many black eyes and broken noses, but no, I was ready then." And it was just not only
chance for Chelsea. Post Tammy Abraham. We are 3 minutes in. Big chance. Right foot against the post. Let off for Man United, John.
Huge let off. Chelsea they've shown great little combinations already, little 1-2s with Mount as well, and what a strike from Tammy Abraham.
Outside the box as well.
We're going to see a replay of this, and we're talking about Tammy Abraham. How important it is he gets off to a good start. That would have been a massive start for him. It's inches wide off the woodwork.
Just seeing De Gea obviously going full length for that. That's another signing from United that obviously getting him to commit long term. Yeah. It's a huge boost for them too. But
you can see what that means for Frank Lampard. He knows, having played at Old Trafford, how important it is to take your chances there.
Look, you'd probably say that's a half chance as well. Yeah. The distance it is, and what a clean connection too.
Good start to the game. Good start. United down the attack.
Pacey, isn't it?
His quality too. Lindelof, he's really kind of stepped up to it.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah.
He's the last 4 or 5 months.
Sure. John, going back to that point you made about Wan-Bissaka and when you joined United as a young age, we've seen Wan-Bissaka make a tackle. Huge cheer goes up from the Old Trafford crowd. Harry Maguire heads the ball out. Huge cheer again. What is that like when you made your debut as a defender and you get that first tackle in that first header, is that a big sort of confidence booster?
Yeah, you get this Pogba there just in the wrong area. Paul, like, what a talent he is, but if he does that higher up the pitch, it'll make him. He has so much quality, it's scary, but he just sometimes does things in the wrong area. It must be so frustrating for the rest of the boys. But no, as we're talking about Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
And Maguire, like they'll have songs for them soon enough. They probably do already.
Yeah.
And they'll hear that when the crowd, maybe there's a break for a free kick or something, they'll hear the crowd screaming their name. They have to get a huge adrenaline buzz from it, and it just makes you want to go on and have a good game.
It's a bit of a general consensus that McTominay's a stopgap, and of course you took your opportunity in the United lineup when Rio was serving his ban, so he's kind of doing this out of necessity. Do you think that he can really establish himself now, and what has he got to do to prove to the United faithful that he is United quality?
Because it's that consistency.
Yeah.
It's that consistency level. I think it was the PSG game maybe last year where everyone kind of really took notice of him. It was like, hold on a minute, he's got a great attitude, he's got great strength, he was getting up, closing the ball, breaking it down, passing it nice and simple, doing the dirty work kind of. And if he maintains that, look, what's a player like? You look at Kante, it's obviously very different. He's not reached Kante's level yet. But if you can get to that kind of scenario where you're releasing Pogba, letting Pogba release the passing ability, the skills that he has higher up the pitch, not back in your own half.
Feels like when Carrick and sort of Fletcher are a little bit underappreciated as well. Obviously, you need these guys in your team. He's not quite the same passer as Michael Carrick. Not many people are, but
that's the thing. And if you're a mix, if you're maybe a mixture of those two players, what a player you have in your hands.
That's the thing, right? You need the players to free up your Paul Pogbas, right? Because unless he's got the time and space, he can't be as effective as he can be, right? So
yeah, but look, Paul's got to realise too.
Here we go! What are you doing, Tony?
That's a chance.
In my dream
That's a big
team.
chance. That's a big chance.
Martial, he's just been handed the number 9 shirt. Should he do better there, John?
I think so. For him, knowing the quality he has, I thought he would have opened it up, lifted it a bit more.
Bit of a Harry Kane, steered it round the goalkeeper. But no,
just showing replays of this now.
I've made him my captain, and he's just straight in.
That'll make
Paul from Chelsea at the back.
Just Zuma will get a bit more nervous
By
there.
accident. One of those ones where you leave them and then you're like, okay.
Just overhit it a bit.
That stinks, that shot.
Jorginho dropping in to make that kind of link in between the two centre backs.
Well, if Greenwood's going to get 1,500 minutes, which is what Romelu Lukaku got about last season, I mean, because Solskjaer was saying he's going to have Romelu Lukaku's minutes, and that's partly why we sold him, so it doesn't block his development. Then Rashford and your man there, Martial, need to score at least like 10 goals apiece, don't they, to facilitate like a push for the top 4.
I'd be fairly confident they'll get that. Martial and Rashford.
What's Rashford's record? Still 11?
Yeah, but you're thinking now stronger again, another year behind him, the experience behind him in the league.
He's doing it in games like this as well, isn't it? Because you could back through against Norwich and Sheffield United.
Yeah,
exactly. We can do it today.
Well, that was what people criticised Lukaku for, right? Not scoring against the.
But the only thing is with Lukaku, it wouldn't surprise me if he's top scorer in Serie A.
In Serie A, I think that's the kind of league he could.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's 42 in 96 for United, which is not bad, is it? And that's enough to warrant you a failure, despite scoring what? Was the second top goal scorer last season 15?
What for United?
Yeah, I think
Pogba got 16.
Yeah.
But that's. Yeah, I mean, I think he probably bore the brunt of the fans not being happy quite a lot of the time.
Just you see again, Paul, just a little bit loose. With the quality he has, he shouldn't be getting that pass wrong.
Yeah.
Big chance today as well for Pereira as well. Yeah. Just looking at.
I thought you were looking at that suspect lid there. A little bit. Those blonde highlights. Not sure about that.
Oh, they've crept in a bit more this season, haven't they? I think there's a couple in every team. I think the hairdressers are doing good. I think.
You know when people do like those career maps of Steven Gerrard's like career haircut and it's all the same. that was surely the same with John O'Shea, wasn't it?
It pretty much was.
Pretty much was. You knew what haircut you were getting with John O'Shea, didn't you?
A bit less hair each one.
Two back and side.
Another chance for Chelsea. The ball whipped across the box. No one there. It's still in possession with Chelsea at the edge of the box. Pedro has it.
That's a lovely
pass that.
Again.
Good John, a little bit concerned with the way United are at the back. I mean, I know it's a new back line that takes time, but...
No, but totally. They've been far too open. a couple of times here as well.
Only 9 minutes into the game as well.
Very, very
Lindelof just wow.
Tammy should be a bit more.
And even Wan-Bissaka should go across again when he sees Lindelof going across into the space where Maguire was. Just cover across again.
Man United famously changed their back line, changed their back four so many times last season. Now that they have spent well in that area, if everyone is fit for you, who are the starting four?
Today's starting four because I think they're the ones that can grow together. To be fair to Chrissy Smalling, when he gets it together, Chrissy's a brilliant defender. Telling you, I've witnessed it myself. He's a top defender. And if Phil had to maintain Phil Jones, too many injuries. And if he can keep himself fit and challenging, he'll keep the boys on their toes, and that's what you want, the competition. Competition for places. But I think that back four will be the starting back four constantly.
10 minutes gone, 68% possession for Chelsea at Old Trafford. So they've started very well. Two chances.
Ollie be a little bit worried. Some of the chances, the space, that especially Tammy Abraham. Just a couple of.
Looking sharp so far. Pedro on the ball now.
Yeah, it's a lot more fluid up front than I expected it to be. Like, Pedro's very central, isn't he?
Yeah.
I need to sneeze.
You need to sneeze?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, just thought I'd announce that because there was a close-up on me there and I just looked like I was terrified and the ball was in central midfield and pretty stationary, to be honest, doing nothing.
You can see there already, a bit more of a higher press from United.
Yeah.
More blonde
Well, they've been setting up in pre-season 4-2-3-1, haven't they?
Or is that natural?
That's not. If that's natural.
Talking about Luke Shaw's trim.
Huh?
Luke Shaw's trim.
Yeah, that's definitely blonde highlights. Me and John having a little debate whether it was blonde, whether it's not.
You might be saying the same about yours. Is that a bit?
No, great. It's so pepper down the side.
Ginger in the middle.
There's a lot more than me, so I can't say that.
Chelsea on the attack again. Oh. Been all Chelsea so far. Oh, chance straight to De Gea. 11 minutes gone.
Chelsea pressing the ball very
playing
well.
Nice little put-up play. Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham, incidentally, making just his first team appearance for Chelsea today, and is looking for his first senior goal for the club. He scored a combined 60 goals on loan at Bristol City, Swansea and Aston Villa. As I say, just his fourth ever first-team appearance for Chelsea. He is a 7-1 price boost to score the first goal today, was 6-1. That is with Sky Bet. Nice. Full terms and conditions apply. You must be 18 plus. Go on, Will.
No, forget it.
You wanted to do
John's looking at me like I was going to have a seizure or something.
I thought I'd get him in, let him talk.
There we go.
We had a period last season where after every bet it was the old Viking clap, but I think we need to reinvent ourselves.
Yeah,
we can't be.
Maybe let John actually know what's going on so that he doesn't look at you like, what's going on here?
We can't be hashing out seasons and stuff.
New season, new celebrations.
Yeah. New rituals. So Tammy Abraham, clearly too good for the Championship. Question marks whether he step up or not. But Mason Mount looks the most likely, and he ripped it up on loan in the Eredivisie, didn't he? It was great in the Championship as well. But push comes to shove, would you start him with Barkley, John?
Both had good pre-seasons
as well.
They
did. And I think that's why they've both started today.
But you imagine Pulisic's going to come back in, right? So I'm kind of already thinking
you're
thinking
if you buy someone for, 55-60 million from Borussia Dortmund. When obviously I'd seen Pulisic up close, but when we played against him a few weeks ago, he is very light. Now, whether it'll take him that couple of months to really adapt to the Premier League, the physicality side of things, needs a few black guys and a couple. No, but he was very quick.
That's where you went, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a great time down south there.
Good clubs in Bournemouth as well.
It was interesting for a 19-year-old from Ireland. It was Big Fletcher was. He's on the coach in the backroom staff down there. He looked after
his arm around
and obviously Eddie was there as well. Eddie Howe,
of course, It
was good to see him kind of maintain that connection with everyone that they have down.
I can sense from your smile you really enjoyed your time at Bournemouth.
No, it was
thinking about the beach, isn't it?
The football was.
Well, let's move on from this. Any questions we've got? Just remind us what we're going to do a Q&A with John straight at half-time. So
yes, get your questions in for John at half-time, anything about his career. And there's one here from the main Anon. Who is a better manager currently, Frank or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Tough one to answer that.
At the minute,
who do you want to play for at the minute?
Ole Gunnar.
He's your mate, isn't he?
Yeah, that's an easy one. No, but look, when you think about Ole's had obviously a bit more experience.
Yeah.
Not much more, but it's a tough one. I think it'd be an easier question to answer after this season.
Fantastic, John. I'll give you a call in
Neil Lennon.
It's tough. 14 minutes into game one is a tough one to answer, isn't it? Are you pleased, though, because they're obviously players that one you played with, one you played against, that it's refreshing to see you've got the likes of Gerrard now managing, you've got the likes of Lampard, Solskjaer, Wayne Rooney, of course, player, manager role. It's refreshing to see that these legends are back in the game, isn't it?
Exactly, it was brilliant. Speaking to Wayne not so long ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, look, he'll
be a rival, isn't he? No?
Yeah, exactly. He said he's looking forward to facing me on the sidelines. He said he's going to make sure he's not starting that game. He just wants to play against me on the sideline.
Telling you bring Phil Bardsley along, then
He claims that was edited, but
Love that.
How do you think Wayne will do as a coach?
look, more than capable of doing it.
Yeah.
He really wants to get into the management side of it further down the line too. Because he used to always joke that he was picking the team with Sir Alex, going back those few years ago too. But he thought he was. I think Sir Alex just used to.
Extremely surprised.
Keep him nice and happy. Pretend he's picking the team. But no, look, he is intelligent. Football intelligence is very sharp. He's going to be.
Surely that's foul. Play on for United. Half chance for United. Rashford.
That's a penalty.
Penalty. You said straight away that was a penalty.
What an advantage.
Well played,
Got to pick the
referee.
ref up here because that was brilliant.
He deserves a little ripple for that.
That is so good at the end of last campaign.
And you said straight away, John, penalty. If you've no doubt in your mind this is a penalty.
No doubt, because even from
Check in, here we go.
Now, of course, VAR in for the Premier League this season. So they go
it's
to check the VAR.
clear.
They don't need VAR for this today. That is a stone wall pen.
That's the Everton in him there.
And even from the little pass Zuma made earlier, you could tell maybe a few nerves starting.
He did look shaky, didn't he?
And then playing that pass across for Martial's chance earlier.
David Luiz will enjoy that. He wasn't best pleased about it. It was very much Zuma and Christensen at the end of pre-season. Apparently that was that was the motivation to him leaving. I mean, Zuma was brilliant. I think Everton conceded under 3 goals in the last 8 Premier League games at the end of last campaign. But
I think when you see Jose Mourinho talking about Zuma as well, when he talked about the transfer ban, he spoke very highly of him too. So he does have
ability.
A lot of ability, but.
Was the last one he took the PSG?
It is Marcus Rashford stepping up. He's scored his last 3, including a massive penalty against PSG.
PSG was the first penalty. They must have taken a couple since then.
Of course it was.
Yeah, he scored his last 3, and he's stepping up. Big penalty.
Very straight.
17 minutes in.
John, too straight. They were up too straight.
John O'Shea.
He's going to just step to the side.
Does he score? Yes or no, John?
Yeah, he scores.
He's too straight, John.
No, watch. There you go. Opens to the side.
John O'Shea says goal. Oh, what a penalty that is! Marcus Rashford 1. Chelsea 0 from the penalty spot. Man United take the lead. And we'll come to United fans. There must be some very happy United fans on the stream. We'll come to you very shortly, Will.
Quality.
But Dave, what a penalty that was.
A very good penalty. I hate Man United. I'm sorry.
That was all nicey.
The thing about Dave is, as you ease him into the show, he says what he thinks more and more.
To be fair, it's come against a.
What a pen that is.
On a play.
United got the most penalties in the Premier League last season on 12. And
you always know it's a good penalty when the keeper goes the right way and doesn't even get a hand to it. That's a fantastic pen. There he's already going to Solskjaer.
But still conceded.
Notice the 2 managers as well. They've gone for a bit of the designer stubble. Did you notice that on the 2 managers?
Oh, wait, you're talking about the old shadow there. That's you've got shape there. That's lovely.
There we go, little close up of the John. There you go. There you go.
Like a Kendall.
I need to put it up there. No, big start that, especially for Rashford too. When you're thinking pressure on Martial as well.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
You're talking about. You said what they're needing 10 goals plus a piece.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely going to do that too.
And you can hear what it's doing to the crowd as well. It's just lifted the crowd because Chelsea were the best team up to that point.
Abraham, the shot against the post, and then probably 2 yards away from having a tap in. Lampard would have been thinking 15 minutes in. Very comfortable, very happy with the start.
And United's record when they go up at Old Trafford is absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? I don't think they've lost since like the early 80s after going and 1-0 up. So I think I defy the odds, Chelsea, if we want to get back into this.
What's it like when it's like all on your side at Old Trafford? They're all behind you. It's like,
Hey, look, like most stadiums, it's what you want, but with the way the stadium's set up, it's really buzzing, it's really rocking, and obviously a Super Sunday game. One of the big teams, big six teams, as they like to say now. It's where you want to be.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's where you want to be.
What was your favourite fixture when you're at United? Against Liverpool?
Yeah, but it was. But at the time, then obviously there was the games with Chelsea, the team Arsenal.
Yeah. Man United Arsenal was a huge fixture then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, because obviously the Invincibles, the challenges, the faces, the test that we had against them. Mourinho coming in.
Yeah.
Another chance for United.
Slowhead.
Just couldn't get his feet adjusted quick enough. Normally, as we've seen in the clips just beforehand, now Maguire's very comfortable.
Yeah, very good passer. Yeah. So if you could relive one moment, John, the chip against Almunia or the last minute winner against Liverpool?
Oh, look, it has to be the win against Liverpool, just for the fact of what it meant in the season too, going on and obviously winning the league as well.
You won the league, yeah.
And I always remember because Wayne he got taken off in that game with a bad, I think he had a bad gash on his ankle or his foot, and he was in the dressing room. But obviously when he heard there was a goal and he knew there wasn't that much of a loud roar, he thought obviously, oh, that's the United goal. So he's come hobbling up the stairs and he's seen myself and Rio running back down towards the United fans.
Suddenly the injuries are right. So Harry Kane last year in Amsterdam when he was playing, he's running on the pitch.
Everyone wondered what he was fit.
Did he make that substitution? Did he pick the substitution? You know, as he was picking a team, did he
attack again here.
Go on then, Marshall.
Chance.
so predictable.
It's really...
Is that offside?
Oh,
Really up and up since United scored. Wow.
I don't know if he knows how close he's coming to being taken out of my fantasy football team here.
Yeah, we'll have a word, mate.
Oh, mate.
Jeff Reeves to have a little word in his ear.
Marshall or
Yeah, Marshall. Where's the decisiveness?
I went Kane,
Come
captain.
on.
Did you?
Yeah. Fantastic.
I've had a good week.
How many points are we talking?
86.
Oh, that is a good week.
Is that good?
It's a showboating week.
Fantasy, not reality.
No, that's good. We'll chat offline. That's some fantastic
Christensen
skills.
with a bit of an elbow to there. He's currently down. Not intentional from Pogba, but they are.
Are they having a look at that?
Got a pause. I don't think they're having a look at that. No, I think they're just, because it's a head injury, they're just making sure he's all right. He's got the ice pack on his head. So with the break in play, Will, let's come to you in Social Corner. Got any questions?
Yeah, question for the panel. Obviously, we were talking about our top fours earlier, but do we think it's almost said and done that Manchester City are going to be the winners of the Premier League? Has anyone got any spicy hot takes?
Yeah. I think definitely.
Do you know what I find incredible is that I do think Man City will win the league, but we've had this debate on a few shows that we've done and features on Sky this season. That almost everyone thinks Man City. They are favourites, but they're sort of nailed on to win. It was only 1 point that separated them and Liverpool. I'm amazed at how few people think Liverpool got. So I do think Man City. I do think City wins.
Liverpool, if Liverpool had got, say, one big signing in, and if Spurs had got that Dybala or something, you're thinking then, ooh.
Do you think if Spurs had signed Dybala, that would have been the difference with them being genuine title contenders then? It was that important.
You'd have been a lot close to second. That's the truth.
It's probably the truth, but I think the fact of the whole kind of football world taking a lot more notice then kind of would have gave Spurs, not as if they needed more confidence. They've got to the Champions League final. They've shown what they've done when they haven't signed any players, what they're capable of doing. Now they've signed a couple of quality players.
Oh, the reason.
Lovely part.
In our comments, Liverpool fans are obviously livid when we kind of say it.
Does well.
Here we go on the break. Nice.
Come on, Jess. That's the weight.
Hello.
That's the weight.
Spread.
Lovely play.
Jesse needs a big season too as
Yeah,
well.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's looked sharp in pre-season, hasn't it?
Go on, Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka down the right.
He's
nifty fit.
A lot of blue shirts.
Any
surrounding
danger of anyone helping him out?
Yeah, a lot of blue shirts around him.
They know he doesn't need
Still
it.
alive though.
Oh, that is.
You hope
Frantic here in the box.
The keeper catches that.
You're a bit worried if you see that, don't you?
Yeah, the reason Liverpool fans get so annoyed with us in our comment section when we say quite confident we think Manchester City are going to win the league again. It's because we say it with such confidence. Sorry, that's why they get annoyed. But if you look at, the season they've just had, you feel that Liverpool were playing at capacity, had no significant injuries. Van Dijk racked up all those minutes. Whereas Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne played 950 minutes, arguably the most influential player of the campaign before. Aguero is missing games. Gabriel Jesus is being rotated in. I mean, what an option to have to rotate in. Just the two. Well, was it one for him? He got one disallowed from VAR, didn't he? But
I think as well when you see Alisson's injury, even
on the first day as well.
And they've just strengthened. Like Cancelo can play. Cancelo's like the perfect Pep fullback. He's not great at defending, but you don't have to be if you've got three really competent defenders and Rodrigo in front of you. He can play left back.
Pogba opinion for a free kick not given.
Yeah, so they've just strengthened in meaningful areas, whereas Liverpool made some great investments last year, and if you're the owners, you're well within your rights to say we're not going to spend another 150 million. But I do think Liverpool's second as a result.
Yeah. The only time City looked slightly fragile was when Fernandinho was injured, wasn't it? But that Rodrigo signing, that papers up that.
I think you'll probably see Fernandinho playing a bit more central defence this year for some of the games. I just have a feeling because of that, as you said.
Yeah.
Rodri coming in.
Yeah.
Rodri. Yeah, it is Rodri. Yeah, I called him Rodrigo. Good spot.
I was thinking
Rodri. Yeah.
Well, I think it's Rodri anyway.
It's two new signings, mate.
Rodrigo's the forward for Real Madrid, but so that's hopefully he's not playing.
I actually think his full name is Rodrigo, but he's known as Rodri.
Right. Okay.
I think that is the case.
Might be the.
Either way, he's a top. I'm helping you out. Yeah. Either way, he's a top player. And City always seem to they always strengthen even when they're at their best. They're just by one or two players that just improve their squad.
That's
as United did
that was always the key to keeping everyone on their toes, to keeping the quality in the training.
Yeah,
but there's some players who are just like perfect for Pep's system. Like so Rodri, I think at Atleti was racking up 60, 70 passes a game. Like never 96% pass sack in his first game. I don't think he misplaces a ball. They've just signed like the right players as well who can make an impact now. And Liverpool, unfortunately, signed two youngsters. Well, not unfortunately, they're going to be great for the future. Like Harvey Ellis, 16, isn't he?
Yeah, but you're not going to play.
But not players who. Although they've got the Ox coming back, probably a bit more to come from Naby Keita.
I think that's what Naby Keita, Chamberlain, and Lallana. I think they're the kind of three.
I think Lallana's injured again.
Oh, really?
Hopefully wrong, but I think I did hear.
John, what's it like when you're talking about players and having strength and depth in the squad? As a player, when you're in that Man United team, there are similarities to this Man City team in terms of the strength and depth that you have in that squad. When a player comes in that plays in a position that you're playing, honestly, are you thinking this is great, or are you thinking, do you know what, this is going to be even harder to get in the team now?
Yeah,
bit of both?
It's a bit of both, but ultimately you're thinking, right, there's a challenge here.
Yeah.
And I think that when you see the training games that we used to have, like they were incredible.
As intense as you'd expect with Roy Keane and Scholesy and everyone in.
I wish the cameras were there for them.
Really? I wish they were there for them as well.
But that's what you want. The manager knew then.
Yeah.
Everton was taken care of for the weekend, and he knew he could see that intensity, and Everton took care of itself generally, not all the time, but generally at the weekend.
Who actually brought? So would that be the players trying to push each other, or would that be the manager saying, no, this is the standard I expect? You know what I mean? Because
it was both. It was both. Because you knew the manager would be clever enough to pick a certain team, and everyone would think, well, that's it. He thinks that's what he's going to go for on Wednesday or Saturday, whatever the case may be. So next thing the game is starting, I'll show you.
Is that what's missing a bit now, with a bit of accountability?
It is, but look, they've signed some younger, and you look at Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
Give him a bit more time. I think that's what everyone's kind of looking for. Even Lampard saying it as well. They know, look, the inside the dressing room at the start of the season, they will have been talking about, look, we want to win the league. Yeah, of course we want to win the league, but realistically, you've got to win the top four. Get themselves back in the top four.
When a new signing came in, I bet you were like, good luck, mate. I play 8 positions, so have some of that.
That was clever, wasn't it? The versatility. So you signed one player, you move another position.
Say, when did you decide that, not... Obviously, you were just kind of plugging holes. I'm guessing, the manager, you do, at Fergie's discretion. But did it ever kind of bother you that you were just rotated around a pitch?
No. Well, look, that was one of the things when I joined Man United. The first year I joined, they won the treble. And you're kind of thinking...
Down to you, that as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all my influence from the youth team. Waving over at the lads.
There's this guy in the youth team that can play 8 positions.
We better win the treble here.
No one's saying.
But again, he's not getting any
But
joy
did you want
it?
Obviously, we played right back, central midfield kind of predominantly. Did you?
Well, first and foremost, I wanted to get into the team. That was the challenge for me. I'd gone on loan. I played centre back. I played kind of holding midfield on a couple of the loan games and stuff like that. So the manager had seen me in those positions, but then I break into the team really at left back. So it was it was nuts really.
Yeah.
And if you had told me that when I joined United, I would have been like, I'm getting in a left back. No chance. But that was the youth team coach, Dave Williams at the time, had said to me, look, we need to improve your left foot. And we worked on it for a whole season type of thing. And next thing you know, 3 years later, we're winning the league, and I played most of the season left back, So it was nuts, and it was just the manager could trust me to do a job, and that's what I was able to do. Certain seasons, whether it be I played a lot right back, I didn't really change a lot, and then I played a lot holding midfield.
Oh no!
Oh, it's a little bit too
Chance against United. Lingard,
slot him in, slide him in.
Lays it off to Pogba. Oh!
He just knows he's in your fantasy team. He's not going to produce for you.
I know.
You put the pressure
Not
on.
for lack of trying, though, is it? What's going on? So you played a variety of positions, but you got a run, an extended run in the same position.
The season we'd won the league, but we lost to Barcelona in Rome in the Champions League. I played nearly the whole of the season right back.
Yeah.
The year before that, Wes had played right back, and we beat Chelsea in the final. Type of thing. The manager kind of, if you'd got a full pre-season and you'd started the season well, whatever kind of team, generally, not all the time, but he's certainly stuck to a lot of that team.
Yeah, I'm guessing not many people would have.
Chance for Chelsea!
What are you doing? Have a pop there. Does that make
Decision
sense?
making. There was
Young McTominay
questionable. Mason Mount, nice touch, but
McTominay just got away with that. But just gone through his legs on the.
That's guff, that, isn't it?
He thought he was going to cut it out.
it's a big chance. Nice ball from Barkley.
Oh dear, Scott, that does not look good, does it, mate?
Oh, Mason Mount.
Not sure what he was looking for. That's behind.
Another chance. Oh.
Well done, Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka's been busy, hasn't he?
The crowd will be loving him.
Defensively, I thought he might. It's going to take him a while to go forward, I guess, because at Crystal Palace there wasn't necessarily that much impetus or directive to get forward. But I think he's averaging about 7 tackles and interceptions a game. Defensively, he just does not look, uncomfortable at any point.
And even if he does,
That's nice and Paul.
even if he does, his pace and power will get back in, and he'll recover like he did early on.
Good powers of recovery. Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka made the most tackles, won the most tackles, and made the most interceptions of any Premier League defender last season. That's what caught the eye of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I think his performance today as well so far will make him another chance.
What's going on?
Oh, Martial almost with the assist.
It's a great game in terms of how open it is, but you're supposed defensively, with your defender's hat on, both teams looking a bit shaky at the back.
Look at that. Straight down the middle, John.
Oh, he's done. They'll be up now.
It's very open, this game, isn't it?
Oh, poor decision-making. Final third from Chelsea.
That doesn't happen with John O'Shea.
Looks like this.
That's straight ball down the centre.
No, look, I think the two managers will be hoping to get a little bit. Look at
What's that?
Paul, he's not.
He
you need a better reaction too.
Final third. It's a strange game, this, It's exciting, it's open, but it's defensively.
There's been a lot of waste of possession, which you don't really associate with these technical players, do you? But,
no, exactly.
Frantic.
You're thinking as well, first game of the season, that you'd be hoping that they can do a lot better from the games going forward, because, as you said, they don't want to be this open.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Scott McTominay's
You're going to get punished. You're going to get punished.
How,
we spoke about at the start of the show with McTominay, the responsibility of having Paul Pogba alongside you.
Yeah.
You're going to really need to stay in that central area. Do not vacate it, because Pogba will have the licence to roam and create.
What do you make of Fred?
But look,
Do you think he's going to get back into the team?
Oh, price boost on your screen now.
Oh,
Chris,
hello.
sorry to interrupt. Rashford to score a brace.
Please do.
Was 11-4. It's now 10-3. Go on, Dave. There we go.
Leave it.
Grow up.
You have to be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. All odds are live and subject to change, remember. So there is an interesting price boost for Rashford. And interestingly, on that, since making his Premier League debut, which was in February 2016, John, no Manchester United player has more goals in the competition than Marcus Rashford. That is equal with Lukaku. So does score goals for Man United, Marcus Rashford.
but he also shows that
There's been no other prolific
they
goal scorer.
haven't really had enough of a competition and a high number that they've been reaching at the end of the season. So hopefully that'll change this season.
Smithy, have we got a quiz today?
Oh, do you know what?
He's off.
Hello.
He's off.
It's a goal, it's in the back of the net, but we have a feeling that we ruled offside. It has been Marcus Rashford. Lovely finish.
Interesting you mentioned the quiz. Go on, you did it.
On this, they are checking this. Rashford, the ball is in the back of the net. 34 minutes gone. Rashford has the ball in the back of the net. Looks like it's offside.
Or is he going to give a free?
But they are all. I think they're looking at.
Kovacic. They're not looking at a straight red for that.
Straight red,
I think they're looking at where the ball's come off, though, to see if it's offside or they're not. Because if it comes off Kovacic.
It's not red, is it, mate?
No, they're looking at whether it's offside because of who it's had the last. That's what they're looking at.
Keep up, Dave. Honestly, mate.
So
Embarrassing
Kovacic,
yourself.
hence why it's going to VAR. So Kovacic, just to confirm, has gone in with a tackle. He is offside. The goal doesn't stand. That's what they were looking at for VAR.
Without, you can't. There's no screen at United, is there? This is one of the only grounds that you don't know what's going on.
Just 4 yards offside. Is that Tony again? No, that's Rashford.
And we're straight down the other end with Chelsea.
Go on,
End to end. Back of the Chelsea.
Ross!
John, what is going on with the defending today? Talk to them.
The whole midfield.
Any dangerous guys plugging us into the game? I've got a John O'Shea related quiz. Right, we do every episode. Well, not every episode because you know
forget the
consistency hasn't been there. So the fifth most highly decorated. I mean, probably not. Highly decorated Irishman of all time in terms of trophy haul. So name the other four.
Roy Keane.
Ding, ding, ding.
Dennis Irwin.
Ding, ding, ding. The next two, I'll let you know.
So go on, just repeat that.
Robbie Keane. Let them fester.
Liam Brady.
Less of it. You've just told him.
We didn't. You're just going great.
Go on, repeat the quiz, Chris.
John O'Shea is the fifth highest decorated Irish footballer in terms of domestic silverware.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not including the Irish League and so on and so forth, or we'll asterisk it with that. Who are the other four? We've had Dennis Irwin, we've had Roy Keane, and that's two of them.
Yeah. Robbie Keane.
Stephen Carr.
Good question.
Stephen Carr played for Blues, and I love Stephen Carr, but he's definitely not.
No, there's going to be some from back in the day, surely there's going to be.
Well, keep going, gentlemen.
Get involved, Will.
Get involved. Using the hashtag the football social.
Is there a former Liverpool player?
Famous Irishman.
I'm not going to give out any clues, okay? Because you've already got two annoyingly quick.
Ray Houghton?
No, good guess though.
Ooh.
Kurt Zoom's just got in the book.
Ronnie Whelan?
Yes.
Yeah. Ronnie Whelan.
John, you're really rubbing me up the wrong way, mate, over there. Respect the quiz, please.
I won't help them anymore.
It's a good quiz.
Apologies.
Glenn Whelan?
Glenn Whelan.
Is he Irish?
He is.
Fantastic.
Glenn Whelan, mate. He's the Irish Shazzy.
Exactly.
Captained Ireland at Euro 2016, didn't you, John? Was that the same season that Sunderland went down? Mixed emotions, that it?
I've upset man.
You said Ronnie Whelan.
Ronnie Whelan.
Unbelievable.
Welcome to the Football Social.
Remember that
The next quiz comes in.
Great to have you on the show, John. So relegation.
Won't be whispering any answers, yes, moving forward, will we?
But I won't whisper anymore.
No, go on.
They've gave up on it.
Can we just confirm? I think we're still waiting for the fourth person. So there are four people
You've got
that are
Whelan,
decorated.
you've got Irwin, you've got Keane, yeah.
Yeah. So there's one other person.
About that
When you
relegation.
say decorate, what are you talking about? Is it like a trophies or what?
Oh, no, he's been, yeah.
No, because
It's not a paint to decorate.
Right. How many trophies did Robbie Keane win? He didn't need trophies.
He didn't win, he did he? No?
Yeah.
He won the
He was the most
League Cup with Spurs.
He was the most cat, wasn't he?
Yeah, Robbie's the most
And record goal scorer.
Stephen Carr actually won the League Cup with Birmingham in 2011.
Hold on. So what are we saying? He's won the most trophies.
Yes.
The boy?
Craig
So it's definitely not Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
We've got three of them. There's one other. Chris, I think you'll have to reveal who the fourth person is.
Damien Duff.
Liam Brady.
Damien Duff.
No.
Begins with H.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that anymore.
Well, John.
Just DM me, John.
We'll leave it to half time.
Poor free kick for Chelsea.
Moving on.
So apparently we're leaving it till half time. So that is
seems
motivation for you to stay with us on this stream.
You want to get comments, ablaze.
Yeah, or let us know what you think in the comments. Anyone got it? Any suggestions, Will?
Lots of Damien Duffs at the moment. A cheeky shout for Phil Babb, but that doesn't begin with a H unless it's Hill Babb. Nothing of yet, no. John's got a glint in his eye that he knows it, but he can't reveal it because he's worried.
He'll get reprimanded again.
Reprimanded.
That was like 16, 17.
Nice and confident there.
That was either brilliant play from Maguire, or we got lucky. But dispossessed again.
Why is he putting his hands up? It's his poor pass.
Go on.
Chelsea on the attack.
Again. There's space. Where's Wan-Bissaka?
Barkley!
There's net.
Left foot up.
David De Gea is so
there with his feet.
So good.
Barkley with the chance, straight to David De Gea.
Look how open they've been.
It's incredible how open Man United have been.
Chelsea.
To
be fair, Lampard will be so disappointed that they're still behind here.
Do we want the answer? Do you want
I've got a H.
You've got, go on.
Houlihan?
No. Where's Houlihan? Are you... Was that a serious answer?
Hang on, is the Championship not one of the best leagues in the world? Exactly, thank you, John.
The Irish Messi.
Go on, Chris, reveal who it all is.
Steve Highway.
My way or the highway?
Well, I think we know that now, don't we? Of
course it was.
That was great. That was Chris.
Well done, Chris Campbell.
Apologies, Chris. I won't ruin any more quizzes for you.
John, just give it 5 minutes, John. I'm still upset, mate.
Last 5 minutes of the half. Chance for Chelsea.
Wan-Bissaka there, another.
Post. They've just hit the underside of the post.
How is it not level?
Already hit the post
Yeah, that
in the
post
first
is
half.
How is it not level?
And there's a cutaway of Frank Lampard in his baby blue shirt, looking dapper as always, but he cannot believe Chelsea are still 1-0 down. Tammy Abraham hitting the post earlier in the half and underside of the bar. David De Gea planted.
Wan-Bissaka got caught to the ball there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think a bit of communication better there with Lindelof, and he'll just be able to head it away. I think Lindelof might have just nicked it away from him.
Emerson with a big shot. It was as close as you can get without it going in.
That post has been United's best player. It's saved them twice now.
3 attempts on target for Chelsea, 2 for Man United.
It's just
the score
midfield for
remains
both teams.
1-0.
So open.
That post will have its own Twitter account in about 20 minutes. It's been a big half.
Great first half for the first
Have a
show
dig,
of
have
the
a dig.
season. You know,
And we've all learned something about Steve Highway. So
everyone's a winner.
that's the football social.
Exactly.
Who is Steve Highway?
Is he a good lad, Steve Highway?
He is.
Legend.
I went to trial on Liverpool when I was 16, and Steve. That's where I met Steve Highway for the first time.
Is that obviously United and Liverpool have that strong Irish connection? You know,
Yeah.
if you get a call to either one of those clubs, is that like the promised land? As a
well,
youngster in Ireland?
it was amazing going over there. I went over there for a weekend, played in a game, and they wanted me to come back every weekend and take playing more games and stuff, but I couldn't commit to that because I was
Getting
so.
a ferry every weekend.
Could you imagine? It was just, they had planes as well back then.
I'm really enjoying the relationship between John O'Shea and Chris Hamill
That's
unfold
expensive.
during the show.
That's expensive getting a plane every week. I mean, Liverpool probably won't
What have
pay
you
for it.
done there?
Oh, nice and calm.
I'm just
Nice and calm.
trying to be
So who would that have been? Would that have been like Gerald, like who would have been in charge of before that? Roy Evans?
I think Roy Evans, yeah. Roy
Yeah.
Evans was the manager, yeah. And but I decided I couldn't commit to that, and then they just sent me a letter then to say that they'd keep an eye on my progress over the next coming years. And we went and won the European Championships with Ireland under 16 up in Scotland. And next thing I signed for United.
Wow.
So,
And was that always the long-term ambition? You weren't too kind of crushed at turning down the opportunity to go to Liverpool?
No, well, it was at the time I had a year to go in school, the equivalent of kind of A levels.
Yeah.
So my mum and dad, well, my dad wasn't. My dad was like,
Do your
my
homework.
mum was like, hey, you got to finish your school. And look, thankfully it all worked out.
Yeah.
I was very close to signing for Celtic, but United just came in at the last minute. And
Chris Hamill is a big Celtic fan. There you go.
now
So, you know.
I'm winning them back, am I? Are you happy with Neil Lennon and Mr. Duff? And John Kent, is it John Kent? John's assistant?
Yeah, John's still there. Obviously not very happy with Brendan Rodgers departed the club. But a bit underwhelming, Neil coming in, but he's slowly sort of winning everyone over, isn't he, with the performances at the start of the season. And
Chance again, good chance again.
he's not going to be the same Neil Lennon as 7, 8 years ago.
Chance for
Go
United.
on then, Martial.
A few minutes left in the first half. Man United on the edge of Chelsea's box. Are they going to carve out another chance before? No, they are not.
Don't stop.
You've played to the whistle there, Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
So wasteful in possession, both teams, yes.
Round the back.
Chance again. Get in the box. Take him on.
Oh, lovely pass.
Combination.
It's the final third for both teams here. Like, it's just
So we're in the 44th minute, not long left of the half. Do not forget, at half-time we will be doing a Q&A, easy for me to say, Q&A with our guest, John O'Shea. So get your questions in at Soccer at Football Daily to John O'Shea. We will read the best ones to him at half-time.
Good recovery then from Harry Maguire, just getting back in.
Despite
United
the
then should
scoreline.
just settle it down a bit just before half-time, because it has been a bit...
This will be a stat.
too open.
This will be a stat that'll be music to your ears, John. Man United have lost none of their last 132 home league games when scoring first, since Liverpool won 4-1 in March 2009. Chelsea currently 8-1 to end that run of United's and come away with a win today. That is with Sky Bet. Don't forget, it must be 18 plus. So good stat. You like that sound of that?
Well, I like the sound of it, but...
You know, on the flip side, if you're losing at half-time at Old Trafford, what was the general reception from Fergie?
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, Especially if you made a mistake just before half-time.
Oh.
Because that was fresh.
Now, in this time now, yeah.
Just as he's about to walk in,
You go to the toilet.
it's fresh. It's fresh in his mind, and you're getting it. You're the first, no matter what, even if you've had the best game of your life, if you just made a mistake and were losing just before half-time.
What we're talking, like, in your grill, like...
Close enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough, yeah.
John, also, as good as that stat was, I have been reliably informed that the last time that was broken, when Liverpool won 4-1, you actually started that game.
Yeah, I know. That's what I
was told to say that.
Don't worry, I was going to say it, and then I thought,
you did say.
And then we'll talk about the relegation after that.
right, I'm thinking. Has the injury time been put? Here we go.
Despite the
2
scoreline,
minutes injury
I
time
don't
has
think
just
Chelsea
gone up.
would be too annoyed with
Because of the way they played.
They played really well,
Yeah,
Chelsea.
One Zuma mistake.
Lampard's isn't this not going to be too damaging? You know, if it stays at the very end and they keep performing to this level, I think Chelsea fans will probably might have won a few doubters over. They've controlled the game.
Especially he's going in there at half-time, you can't really be too upset.
Yeah.
Obviously, stop hitting the post. Put it in the corner. No, look, they have played well. They've probably, I know they're behind, but they've probably played the better stuff at times.
Has Mason Mount sitting a little bit more now? Looking alongside Jorginho, do you think they've changed shape a little bit?
Maybe like push
he was
Barkley up a bit more.
Look at him there.
Oh!
Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at
up.
Kovacic, 17. Yeah, I'm looking at Kovacic. So that was
When we
completely wrong.
played him
Absolute fabrication.
in pre-season, it
We
was
don't do it anymore, mate.
Jorginho who was dropping in, mainly in that bottom of the diamond.
Right.
Kovacic was to the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Trying to remember now. There's a Mount to the left.
Yeah, Mount's 19.
And then Barkley or Pedro at the top. They'd switch it up in behind Abraham.
They've got good options on the bench, haven't they, to like completely change it.
I mean, being banned from a transfer window but still signing Kovacic and Pulisic isn't too bad, is it? Like,
No, exactly.
Still strengthen the team, but just not in that centre forward area.
Where's
Surely the
Batshuayi?
last chance of the half now.
He's still at the club.
He's not even on the bench.
That's right.
Batshuayi.
They've just not fancied him at any point after buying him. Was it from Marseille?
Keeper's got to be strong here. Nice and solid.
Good hands from David De Gea. Surely that is going to be
He
the
needs a good,
half-time whistle we expect.
He needs a good solid start to the season, doesn't he, after the end of...
Yeah, I think that was just a bit of everything, wasn't it? After the run that they'd gone on when Solskjaer had come in, when Ollie had come in. The next thing, was it the last maybe 12 games?
Yeah,
or
he went
something.
yeah.
Obviously there was a bit of a dip, and he, as you said, did affect him.
There is the half-time whistle. It is Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0 at the halfway stage, courtesy of that Marcus Rashford penalty after Kurt Zuma gave it away. These are the scenes. Tammy Abraham looks a bit gutted with that shot, and Emerson as well. Both players having shots that have hit off the woodwork. Frank Lampard's face. He looked dejected when he saw that, both of them, and it's been quite a good half for Chelsea in a weird kind of way. They've played well, just haven't scored.
Exactly, they have done, and I think Solskjaer as well getting in there will be talking about the gaps in the middle there, not just the midfield but the defence at times. Just when Chelsea were countering, you just need to make sure, Scott McTominay especially, just make sure you're in that position. It's so key, especially, you know, Pogba's going to get forward, the licence the other players have, Lingard, Pereira, they're going to really join in. So
Not seen an awful lot of Pereira.
no.
And there's the man
That was
walking
clear.
down
That
the
was clear
tunnel,
cut.
Marcus Rashford, who made the difference. No doubt it was a penalty. Stonewall penalty, Zuma on Rashford. Rashford slotted it away, so it is 1-0 to Man United at the halfway stage.
You were a bit worried about the run-up at the start, weren't you? You were a bit worried about the run-up.
It was too straight.
What a pen,
Every time
netting.
Henrik Larsson used to take a penalty, he's dead straight, and my dad would be like, he's going to miss this. He's going to miss this. He's too straight.
We will give you some match stats as well from the first half. Here they are. The one that matters is, of course, the one at the top for Man United fans. It is 1-0. Only one booking. Attempts-wise, though, look at that. Chelsea with 8 compared to Man United's 5. On target as well, Chelsea winning that 3-2. Corners are the same. And possession-wise, Chelsea 53 to 47. So it's been a very good first half for Chelsea.
United wrestled a bit of control.
They just
back
haven't
then,
got
didn't
the
they?
goal.
Wrestled a bit of control back. Chelsea, I think the first 20 minutes had an awful lot of possession. Then it started to get a little bit more kind of scrappy.
I think it was also well the incident that led to the Man United penalty. The ball was actually given away by Chelsea in midfield again. Like that's happened so many times from both teams in this half. In midfield, they've just been a bit careless, and then it's kind of created a lot of space as they've kind of gone forward.
With the quality that they've had, the two teams will probably be, as you said, a little bit disappointed with that.
At sloppy
at times, but for United to have go in 1-0 at half-time, first game at home.
We're over the moon,
Huge, big
Who are you
lift.
most impressed with from United's point of view there, performance?
Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah,
Impressed
the
me a lot.
standout player for you.
Yeah, he impressed me a lot. His recovery, his positioning. There was one time there he probably, when Everton got that chance, he probably just went in a bit too far.
Yeah.
So,
But if he had spoke to Lindelof, he would have been able to clear it away. And but he's really impressed me. And Rashford's composure to dust himself down after winning a penalty and take it away, very impressive.
We're looking at chances for Chelsea, Chris. Same question that I asked to John. Your perspective, which players have you been proud of, or happy with in a Chelsea shirt?
A little bit strong. But, I mean, Mason Mount has not looked out of place. Jorginho has been his usual neat and tidy self. Emerson's been extremely lively down the left-hand side, much more so than came accustomed to last season watching him. Tammy went off the ball a little bit after sort of threatening first 10, 15. Like to see him get involved in general build-up play a little bit more, but he's not, has he? It's just become very, very scrappy in midfield. I just like to see a little bit more, ball.
Yeah, which has obviously led to like a really good game, hasn't it? It's been an absolutely fantastic game from him.
Good game though. Good first half for the
exciting,
first show of the new season with the Football Social, and it is half time, Will, so we can do our Q&A with our guest John O'Shea. Have we had a lot of questions in?
No, unfortunately not. Good.
A lot of Steve Highway related stuff.
Yeah, it was Steve Highway. Obviously a fantastic career, but there was an incident that kept coming up in my DMs, in the WhatsApps, on the Twitter. No, it's not Bournemouth, don't worry. Nutmegging Luis Figo. Talk me through it. Did you know you'd done it at the time? And how did it happen?
Well, believe it or not, I was playing in Manchester United's team, so I had done it a few times before, No, but look, it was one of them things. When I was playing left back, obviously my stronger foot being my right foot, I'd cut in quite a bit, and obviously he's gone to close me down quite quickly and
bamboozled him.
Well, I wouldn't say bamboozled. I managed to knock it through and obviously keep the ball in. Look, afterwards, the amount of stuff I was getting sent T-shirts. It was weird, but look, it's just one of them things. I got megged myself plenty of times, but look, it was a good moment.
Fantastic. Obviously, we were talking earlier about some of them famous title duels, but we talked about the dink over Almunia, but what was it like in some of those big games? Roy Keane, Vieira going up in each other. What was it like being in the tunnel and then taking it onto the pitch?
Yeah, look, they were immense, but brilliant games. They were the games you were gutted when you weren't picked to start. That game in particular, obviously, it's been well documented. Vieira picks out Gary Neville on the way back in. Gary, very cleverly as he does, just decided to drop it in. The start of the game. What's just happened to him? Roy doesn't say anything to anybody and takes care of business down at the front of the tunnel. It just worked. But that dressing room at the time was incredible to be a part of.
Fantastic. Another famous incident was you going in goal against Spurs.
Oh, I remember this vividly.
So does Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
Bang.
There we go.
Get out.
No, look, it was. If it was 0-0, I wasn't going in. I think we were 3-0 up before.
United were very comfortable that day. I had bad memories of that.
Yeah, and we were going on international duty.
Is that after you said Keane shot?
Edwin's a big man,
Yeah. Did McGregor steal that pose off you?
The most nerve-wracking thing was taking a goal kick.
Was it?
It was weird.
That was more nerve-wracking taking a goal kick than it was being
just
in goal
stepping
and
to the
taking
side.
saves.
When you just put it down to the side and you turn back to the fans and
you get
you have to kick it. No,
first shot that came towards you, you must have been thinking, I'm a bit nervous at this stage.
If there was a clip, it's hilarious. I come out to because I played Gaelic football obviously back in Ireland, so I thought, look, catching it should be no problem. Rio was going to go on, but I thought, no, I'll hopefully I'll be able to do a better job than him in net. So I said I'll do it. And but I come out for one cross. Oh, it's awful. Like flapping. The keeper's punching it. No, look.
Look how happy Rio looks there with you.
He's not had to go in.
We were going on international duty afterwards, and obviously Robbie had a chance one-on-one with me, and obviously I managed to take it off him, so he wasn't very happy afterwards. But, no, look, it was brilliant. I auctioned the auctioned a shirt or the gloves, I can't remember, for a charity back home in Ireland, life saving, and they did very well from it. The lifeboats.
Did Keane buy them? Did Keane buy them and incinerate them?
No, it was good because it had been a bit of a tragedy at that time, say back home. So it worked out very good.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah, good.
Later on in your career, obviously you moved to Sunderland, became a Netflix star as well. But there was sort of rumours going around that the players didn't really want that documentary to happen. Is that true?
Yeah, well, look, at the time, it was just strange. You're hoping that we'd lost Pickford, Defoe, and you're hoping that the club, obviously...
Big players to lose.
Yeah, look, crucial players. And you're hoping the club gets his act together, as in... Reinvest, you know. It wouldn't have took too much, and then next thing, obviously, it unfolded as it did, you know. And Netflix got the people around it that were doing it were great. I wasn't a keen fan of it myself, as in to be doing it. I was
naturally, why would you be? Because footballers have to be very guarded. So
exactly.
Did you feel like you couldn't be yourself?
No, that's what I mean. Where I grew
genuine.
Where I grew up in the dressing room.
Stuff around
like
there.
Imagine asking Fergie that. Even volleying cameramen left, right.
As I said, from watching the documentary and stuff, obviously they've cleverly edited a lot of things.
Yeah.
But look, anyone that's come and spoke to me about it, they've said they loved it.
Yeah,
they really enjoyed it.
It was more genuine than the City one, wasn't it? Like it had a little bit more of a grounded
It's the insight that you got from
the big thing for me. Yeah, the big thing for me was that the staff, that was great. How good they came across from it, because they are really the real committed, genuine people and committed to it, like the fans are too. So fingers crossed they can get promoted this season.
Yeah, deserve it.
I saw them out in Portugal, caught up with some of the staff and the coaching staff. So fingers crossed they bounce back.
So from that, a low light to a highlight, we've got to talk about the fact that you are in the Champions League winning club. Just what was it? I mean, I suppose... Oh, there's a glass bottle that's just...
The glass bottle's excited about that.
He's excited. What's that moment like? Because obviously, us sat here on the sofa, we can only imagine what it's like to lift the Champions League trophy. Look, and we've got photos of you lifting it. I mean, it just must be incredible.
Look, it is incredible. When we'd lost to Madrid.
There he is.
You're talking about that time when we were playing against Real Madrid in 02-03.
Yeah.
And obviously, we'd won the game, but we got knocked out over the two legs. The manager had spoken to us in the dressing room that day. There would have been myself, Wes, Rio, Mikel Silvestre at the time, who were still obviously quite young. Yeah. And he said, look, that's the standard you have to get to if you want to be. And obviously, took a few years, a bit of investment. Ronaldo arriving, obviously. Rooney arriving. You know, those types of players, Tevez. When you get that quality, but that's what the manager spoke about all the way back then. 5-6 years before that to get to that point, and then obviously you get to the final. What was it? There was 3 finals in a row.
9. So you didn't start the 2008 one, did you?
No,
You started
the next one, and then I'd been out for 3 months. It was my longest injury, 3.5, 4 months for the one where we lost at Wembley. To
Barcelona, wasn't it?
That was a good team.
I looked at Barcelona team.
That 2009 team, I was going to say, because United started the game really, really well for the first 10 minutes, obviously famously, and everyone's thinking they're not so immortal, this Pep Guardiola's kind of 2009 team, and then obviously they took control after that. But how did you prepare for that game, and then what was it like setting up against that Guardiola?
Yeah, look, you're wanting to press them. We were wanting the way the manager always spoke about it was, it's a final. We want to win it. You know, that was his belief, and that was his big thing. Go and win the final. But when we played the Barca in the semi-final in 08 to get to Moscow, it was a bit more tactically, right, we'll sit back a bit more, soak up the pressure a bit more, and obviously Scholes scores an absolute banger. So it was different tactics for each occasion.
Love that, Will. We're going to get more questions for you throughout the show, John. There's so much to talk to you about, but I'm pleased to say that we can cross to Zach Jalab. There he is. What a photo that is, by the way. Zach Jalab from Football Daily. I'm afraid you can't see this brilliant photo we've got, looking very happy, Zach, from the England World Cup back in the day. How happy are you now, though? Not going Chelsea's way in terms of the results so far. You're at the game, but not a bad performance.
Yeah, it's not been too bad, to be fair. I mean, it's a penalty. What are you going to do about it? It's unsurprising that happened. I know they scored it as a result, but I think Chelsea's been quite good, to be fair. It's surprisingly as well. Like I wasn't hoping for anything too amazing, but there have been some players there that surprised me. Kang Abraham's been very good. I think Jorginho has also been pretty good. Unfortunately, Ross Barkley looks really good in pre-season. I think it's nice, but it's been pretty good, I think.
So you're surprised at how open the game is because it was end-to-end chances and it's both defences. It's made for a very entertaining game, but it's been quite surprising to us watching just how open the match is.
It's been mental. I can't even put it in words. When it kicked off, it felt like someone had put it on double speed. I don't know why, but everyone was like sprinting straight away. Like it seemed like everyone just wanted to hit the ball first. There was no like taking a minute, seeing where the pass is. Maybe it's just being here and it's different to watching it on TV, but it's just been ridiculous.
And give us an insight, obviously you're at Old Trafford, first game of the season, Lampard against Solskjaer, Chelsea, Man United, it's a classic fixture. What's the atmosphere like in the ground?
The atmosphere is electric. Frank Lampard has probably sat down for a total of 2 minutes at 45. He's been out on the dugout, absolutely berating players, going in on them, and also celebrating when they have done well. He's been fantastic to watch. Ollie, on the other hand, has only come out maybe about 2 minutes in total out of the 45, but it's quite good to see the difference in management. Frank's very hands-on, where it seems like Ollie kind of lets his assistants do it, and then I guess in the dressing room, they'll be having a word with it.
Zach, brilliant. Great to hear from you. We'll try and catch up with you again later on. I hope the second half is more bearable for you as a Chelsea fan. These are the scenes, though. Perfect timing, Zach, because the players are back out. There we go.
John O'Shea's legged it, mate.
John O'Shea's just popped out. He will be back. Don't worry, he will be back very soon.
He just saw, the latest offer from Sky Bet,
He did. Very good, Chris. Yeah. Saw the latest price boost. These are the scenes, though. Players out. Kurt Zouma. Not the best first half. Kurt Zouma giving away that penalty. Rashford, there he is on your screen now, disposing that. What a penalty that was. We were talking about his run-up.
Yeah, really. United were probably a little bit more out of position, I think, than Chelsea's for large sections of that. Like Wan-Bissaka, and covering his centre back, and Luke Shaw inexplicably, found himself not up the pitch, yes, but kind of protecting the 6-yard box as well, and kind of giving licence that right-hand side for Pedro to get the ball in, but. Yeah, I'd anticipate a couple more goals here. Actually, I think 1-1 was maybe low-balling the attacking intent of both sides.
There we go. There is the coaching staff. You see Frank Lampard alongside his assistant Jody Morris, and of course Ole Gunnar Solskjaer alongside who is club captain Ashley Young, not starting but having some words. We can't see what they're saying because they've got what a lot of managers now do, covering their mouth, so we can't see what they're saying. But both sets of players are out, and the match has just kicked off, and John O'Shea is back.
Substitution.
John, I don't think you're loving these. Some of these
again.
We just said, mate, you saw the latest price offer and went
Sky Bet.
Get on the Wi-Fi in the corridor.
No Manchester United player completed more passes, made more interceptions or more headed clearances than Harry Maguire in the first half against Chelsea.
Worth every penny.
Zero moments.
So
for Chelsea
28 passes, 2
movement.
interceptions, headed clearances 2. So maybe we should have to talk about Harry Maguire. We spoke about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. No substitutions at this stage. And of course, Man United, we've done this stat so many times on the Football Social, we should all know this by now. Man United have never, ever lost a Premier League match.
They're trying to get them to lose or something.
They've never lost a Premier League match at Old Trafford when leading at half-time. That is in the history of the Premier League. Drawing 16 and winning, wait for it, Chris Hamill, 263 of their 279 such games. So we're talking decades, this stat. Man United currently 1-0 up.
Look forward to Willie again.
Yeah, there you go. The last Chelsea boss to lose the opening Premier League game was Avram Grant, who lost 2-0 at Man United.
What did you say the stat about Maguire? He had the most clearances.
The stat about Harry Maguire, John O'Shea, is he had more passes, 28, made more interceptions, 2, and more headed clearances, 2, than any other player.
Okay.
In the history of the Premier League?
Do you know
in the first half.
Do you want some more obscure stats on Harry Maguire?
Yeah.
I did a script on him recently. In his first season at Leicester, completed more dribbles than Dele Alli. Yeah, and only one player since he joined Leicester has contributed to more goals, elite centre-backs this is. Who do you think it is? Across Europe's top 5 leagues, only one other defender has contributed to more goals. Yeah, because he's watched the video. Well done, Dave. So why is no one respecting the quiz format?
That's nice, though. You
First it was
supporting it.
O'Shea, now it's Jackson. I can't believe it.
Right, we have kicked off. It is 1-0.
Great video as well, Chris. It's a great video on Harry Maguire. Watched it early.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
There we go.
Yeah, can you
That
believe
sounded
that?
really. That was really sincere. That's a good video.
So in many ways, like when people are like, "Is Harry Maguire worth the money?" You think, like, statistically speaking, his numbers are like up there with the best, but it's still like 30 million more than what paid for it.
It's yellow. It's off.
Straight red, I think.
It's gone, mate.
No.
VAR.
Good walk, yes.
Yellow card. It is a yellow.
But it's like
that,
Rafa.
Oh, Lingard.
Lingard with a yellow card.
Young.
47 minutes on the clock. Yellow card for Jesse Lingard. Just having a replay now.
Oh, it's nasty. that
John,
is.
Lingard on Kovacic.
John,
come on, you can't defend
Straight red, that is.
John, are you kidding me?
Oh, the game's gone if that's a straight. The game's gone. No, look, he's a little bit late.
What do you make of Solskjaer's whole the way he's profiling new signings? He is going kind of young, he is going British, he is going, trying to bring back some attacking intent to the club after a few managers, they've employed pedestrian conservative football. Do you think that's the way forward? Feels like the start of a long-term project.
Yeah, I think so. And I think when you looked at who else there was potentially looking
Daniel
at
James,
they're getting Longstaff at Newcastle, maybe Sessegnon. I know he's gone to Spurs, but that was the kind of profile of player they were looking at. And then if you bring into that the mix of Greenwood, Chong, Garner, the lads that went on the pre-season tour, you're thinking they've got the bones of another good 3 or 4 players coming in there that could really add and save them a lot of money in the transfer window.
3 British players they've signed in one summer. First time they've done that since 1989, Man United.
Do you think that United lost something, a sense of identity to that extent, or are we playing up to that kind of notion too much? Because I think they signed 7 players for over 40 mil before that, and it's not really worked, has it?
No, it's not really worked. But you also have to respect that the teams have the City, Liverpool, Tottenham, the challenge that they've took on and gone, right, we're going to compete with you, best in Europe. So there's a lot more like years ago, if United call Leicester and say, we want your best defender, it's done quite quick.
Leicester don't hold out for 85 mil.
There you go. You look at the teams now, the power that they have. Palace with Zaha
and stuff.
they've lost more power with these teams.
Yeah, you see that Barcelona can still go and pillage teams in La Liga, and Bayern can still do that in the Bundesliga, and United can't now. Yeah,
it's a different.
It was the same with Mahrez, wasn't it, before?
When United go to Tottenham and ask for Michael Carrick and Berbatov, it was like
clang every time they'd just get them, wouldn't they?
They would. I think that was a big part of the Ericsson deal, is that Daniel Levy said obviously there was times when Man United were just cherry picking Spurs' players, and I think now that Spurs are in the mindset where if we want to be competitive, we can't let our best players go to our rivals. And I think the other thing we've got to bear in mind when people say, is Harry Maguire worth 80 million, is that the inflation now and the increase in transfers has just become crazy. That it's a player that Man United massively need, and you saw Brendan Rodgers talking about the fact that they couldn't buy a replacement because clubs knew they had 80 million in the bank, so they were getting quoted 70 million for Nathan Ake and Lewis Dunk for 50, 60 million. Not bad players, but
no, exactly.
players that you wouldn't say would be worth that amount of money because they know the clubs have got it. That's another problem that a lot of clubs are having.
And that's the thing with Maguire. He does improve the team. Yeah. He does obviously improve the starting 11. If you're looking to spend that type of money, the player has to improve your starting 11. Yeah. You talked about Ake and was it Dunk?
Lewis Dunk, yeah.
They're going to improve. Maybe what Leicester have, I think as well. Leicester will cope with Maguire's because of obviously knowing Johnny Evans as well, but the type of player he is as well. Whoever they bring in to play alongside him. Deflection.
Chance for Pedro, whips it as he loves to do.
He talks the game so well. He'll help them settle in, no problem. Whether it's the lad who started today. The long hair, the centre back alongside Johnny Evans. You said his name.
Sionku.
And is it Benkovic? The other?
So he was on over Celtic and he was brilliant at Celtic.
So as you said, they could be replacing from within as well. So
can we try and
corner for Chelsea?
Can we try and refrain from talking about Brendan Rodgers, please?
We can. We'll move on. Corner. Mason Mount is over it.
Zuma redemption.
51 minutes on the clock.
That's a lovely ball. That's put in the perfect spot.
Still not clear.
Second face.
That's where you see.
That was a lovely corner.
That was right in the mix there. He was involved in that clearance.
James Maddison sort of corner that.
Yeah.
Slink.
Throw in to Chelsea right on the corner flag. Rashford getting back doing some defensive duties. So it looks like the second half has started just as the first half. It's a good game, this. Very entertaining match.
John, one of the players that we were talking about there is Daniel James. You actually came up against him last season, didn't you?
Well, I didn't really because I couldn't see him. It was that quick. No, I think he could be someone. A game like today, that last 20 minutes, Chelsea be pushing if it stays at 1-0.
Oh,
That's a yellow.
That's poor from
He's going to
Jorginho.
even up the...
Just lazy, isn't it?
Jorginho, very late challenge,
He's not-
completely missed the ball.
He's not the best tackler, is he?
No, I think it's one of them. He has to
make
have
it.
to do it.
On Jesse.
Yeah.
Right. The look that John just gave me that, you said, yes, you've done that a few times,
Yeah,
Joe. You know
no, that's-
exactly what that
He knows
feels
what
like.
he's doing there, doesn't he, Jorginho?
Totally.
Yeah.
So I can't
You should look at the smile as well.
Up on the outside.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Rashford.
So two big tackles. Jesse Lingard's been involved in giving one out and receiving one.
Yeah. Do you not think he was? He came in for some undue flack last season, Jorginho?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And you see the quality he has, how he was helping Chelsea. Obviously, they ended up winning the Europa League.
Yeah.
The quality, I think it's one of them things. When the manager was coming in, everyone's saying, "Oh, he's just brought in for the salary board, all this."
Yeah.
Kind of,
Well,
but
first
actually,
12
hold on a
games of the
minute.
season when he went unbeaten, he was the best signing, since last spring. Yeah.
I think the minute was so strange is that one of the other world-class players is obviously N'Golo Kante. And you're playing him out of position to facilitate him, which seemed a bit strange.
It's a really good point as to how this game is so open.
Could work out. Could work out.
The second whips in. It's a fair point, Dave, because this is so open. You think the
Just
fact that
sitting
N'Golo
there,
Kante's not playing, you'd think that this wouldn't be that open if Kante's there sitting in front of the back.
but also-
Chance again, Lingard.
Also, imagine if Sarri had put Kante on the bench in a game like this, the Chelsea fans would have been baying.
So true, isn't
Blood.
it?
They would have been out on
Like,
the- they would have been out on
Frank
the pitch.
Lampard's come in, not started him, and we've heard nothing about how a world-class player has been left out. Chelsea
Keep it,
fans are
keep it,
fickle,
keep
and
it.
fickle.
Nice.
Nice bit of build-up.
I love that.
Maguire's going to be a slam goal. Rashford.
Again, where's Martial?
Harry.
Look at that, Maguire's lining up at the back post there.
Who was that driven ball in? Is that Wan-Bissaka?
No, Pogba.
Pogba.
Oh, is that Pogba instead? Oh, I love that. Instead of just floating in, he's just gone straight into feet. Love that ball.
I don't think Martial's had the best of games.
Maguire's absolutely hanging at that back post.
Whips it in.
Still got faith.
Good period of play for Man United.
Brilliant from
Excellent
McTominay. Brilliant from...
Box McTominay losing possession.
Lost it.
But
nosebleed,
stopping the counter-attack as well.
Look how high United's line is.
Very aggressive, yeah.
There we go. Yeah, some tackle. There's been an aggressive start to the second half, hasn't there? A few
Yeah,
tackles flying in.
Lindelof there as well. He's really stepped up, hasn't he?
good, though.
I feel like
obviously-
it was since the Juventus game under Mourinho when he was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
He's not really let up since then. When they sneak a 1-0 win in the Champions League, was it?
Which one's that one? The Juventus one.
Yeah.
The 2-1 away.
Yeah, it might have been the 2-1 away. Yeah. And I think he was United's best player, and since then the standard's been very, very high.
I brought my son to his first United away game last season. It was Tottenham. It was at Wembley. But obviously,
one of the good
De Gea
made record
honestly
saves that
was,
game.
Yeah, it was incredible. But to be fair to Lindelof as well, he was really impressive.
I feel like that was a
day too,
big
and that's when
moment for United and Solskjaer that game because it was during that run where they'd won a lot of games but quite comfortably. And Spurs were the first team that tested them
and
they still
people
won.
And people were talking. Remember, it was the pass from Pogba to
Rashford,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Great, good finish that.
Really good goal.
Very good finish.
Good game, good first game to take your son to
Yeah,
that one.
it was.
Who would you take out this current United?
Chelsea!
Saves.
David De Gea praising the way the second half has started just like the first half started. We are being thoroughly entertained here. Hope you are at home. Brilliant.
Who would you take out this current United side, John, and put it in the sort of peak United side from your years?
Oh, well, look, if they're on form,
Yeah, would any of them get in?
you know what I mean? Pogba does.
Yeah.
Pogba would if he on form.
De Gea.
De Gea, Van der Sar.
Van der Sar.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Edwin.
They're close.
It's really close, isn't it?
Yeah, look, there's if Rashford's on fire, you know, like there's
But no one convincing there. Like Paul Pogba,
No,
maybe.
look.
Yeah.
De Gea.
Yeah.
There's lots of potential, but it's little bit. Not that I'm saying it's an unfair question. Yeah.
But do you
Towards the
think...
end, you'd have a lot more clearer answers on that one, I think.
But do you think that's the main reason why United aren't challenging? Because there isn't as many players that would get into a Fergie team. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, more than likely, but it's the squad as well.
Squad,
the squad, the depth in it, the competition. They need to increase on that, and I think that's where. Strong again from Lindelof there.
Tell you what, referee is saying play on, but he's going to.
I think he has to go back to that.
He's gonna have to go back to that.
He's made it look. It's a yellow. I think he's
good from McSauce.
Yeah, it's a quick yellow. A few yellow cards from Brandon. It's the third yellow card of this second half. Tammy Abraham is the latest to go into the ref's book.
It feels like he's getting a bit frustrated, Tammy.
Look at that. Ooh.
It's the classic centre forward.
That's barely even a yellow.
I think it's the correct decision. It's not red. It's not a yellow. I think yellow is about right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit late, wasn't it? A little bit late.
No, it's not. It's just the speed he's going at. It makes it look, and how McTominay swings his leg around makes it look that way.
That is giving me eyeballs.
Smithy, a few questions we didn't get to at half-time.
Yeah, let's
for you,
carry
John. One from a great username, Pieman55. What was it like to train with Ronaldo, and did he get past you many times in training?
Of course he did. He got past everyone in training, not just me. But that's what I'm talking about. If you're a defender, and then obviously you're facing him one day, Nani the next day, Rooney the next day, it's perfect practice, and that's why we were able to cope with other teams and tricky players that other teams had, because you were facing it day in, day out. Like he was, and there was nothing better to challenge yourself against him every day, because you'd watched him work, you've seen him working hard every day, and it was a joy to be up against him,
When did that start? When Ronaldo just started training obsessively behind the scenes, was it straight away at United?
Pretty much straight away, because we noticed straight away with his doing his ankle work. He'd seen Figo do it, strengthening his ankles, because he knew I'm playing out wide, sliding tackles, my ankles are going to get absolutely destroyed. But every day he was doing this band work to strengthen all the ligaments around the ankles, because he knew he was going to get kicked so much. That's one of the, obviously, as well as doing his press-ups, chins, dips.
I did an interview with Patrice Evrawaite. He announced his retirement, actually. He said two great Ronaldo stories in there. He said, one, there was a story about playing Rio Ferdinand at table tennis, and all the Man United players were watching, and Rio won, and all the Man United players were giving Ronaldo a bit of stick. Ronaldo went home and practiced religiously for 2 weeks. They played again, and Ronaldo wiped the floor with Rio Ferdinand because he was just so competitive. And the other one that he told, which is a brilliant story, is that he would never go round to Ronaldo's house for lunch again, because Ronaldo invited Patrice Evra. Have you heard the story? And afterwards he said he just had plain chicken, rice, the healthiest meal ever, water, not even salad dressing or dressing on the chicken. Afterwards he said, do you want to play some two-tights? Then after that he said, do you want to come for a swim, go for a sauna? He went, mate, we're just training. We might as well do this in the training ground. But he said, as a competitor and an individual, he said he was just driven on a whole different level to any player that he played with.
And look, he openly admitted that he was going to go to Madrid at some quite early on.
So did you know you knew that was happening in Madrid?
Yeah. I think we did well to hold on to him that extra year we did. You know what I mean? Because he was desperate to go there.
Yeah.
So when he first arrived, did you know he was going to be a special player?
I knew before he arrived.
Oh, it's a game, wasn't it? Yeah,
against Sporting Lisbon. I'm all jet lagged, but great reason. No, look, you could tell. You're looking at a player before the game, and he was staring back, thinking, okay. I was like, oh, this kid is up for it.
Yeah. But obviously the half time was everyone signing?
The deal was practically done. The deal was practically done before the game.
Right.
But obviously, what happened in the game was kind of like, right, let's make sure it does happen.
Yeah.
And I think it was done quite quickly then. But they were obviously thinking about maybe leaving him on loan at Lisbon for the year. But then they thought, hold on a minute, this kid's ready. Get him in.
One final one here from Vinci. He said, which Premier League title was your favourite to win?
Five Premier League titles you won.
Yeah, look.
Was there like a run in that? I mean, obviously that goal at Liverpool was stand out.
Yeah, but the first one in particular. Yeah. 02-03, we'd come back with a great run. Against Arsenal. Yep. But look, to play so many games as well, and just the first real breakthrough season for me to go and win the league. Wow, what a switch that was from Pogba. Nice and confident. But that was, all of them were amazing. But that one probably might just edge it. But look, it was, as you said, fortunate to get 5 of them was brilliant.
Obviously, you just announced your retirement as well, and there was a call from a certain Sir Alex Ferguson as well, I hear. Did that?
Look, he gets wind of these. Chance.
Corner Man United.
He always gets wind of these things. Amazingly, he's got his contacts and spies everywhere.
Just before you had announced it.
Yeah, and
is that not a bit creepy?
No, look, obviously the press people and stuff like that, so you know that these people talk and let the right people know, as they say. But look, you just said make sure you stay involved with football, make sure you get involved in coaching, management type of thing. And
that's nice. You're giving the vote of confidence.
Yeah, look, and always he'll be available at any time. Here's Maguire coming in. for any
Chelsea's
advice
clear the
going
danger.
forward, you know. So
It's not a bad one to have in the
no,
contact book, is it?
incredible.
How much enjoying your coaching role at Reading, John?
Yeah, look, it's when obviously we've not started the best, but the manager's just brought in a couple of new additions recently, and they'll have a big impact.
Yeah.
I think the second half yesterday against Hull, we could have easily scored 4 goals. So hopefully we'll get the wins on board quite quickly. With Wickham in the League Cup Tuesday evening. So it'll be, you know, going against their lower league team is obviously always a big test, but hopefully.
Going against that in Fem with that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a regular on the Football Social. So, he's very physical. Even on this show, he got physical with us. So I'd hate to go up against him in a football match, but we'll keep an eye on that result.
Yeah, no, look, hopefully we get, and then we have Cardiff at home next weekend. So no, I'm enjoying it, but it's great to. The manager spoke about it with me towards the end of last season, and to get in and have a little taster watching him how Everton works. It's the transfer window last week was big eye opener. So good learning curve.
Brilliant. I love that.
You had a career that almost spanned 20 years. How hard was it coming to terms with the fact that it was over?
Yeah, look, it has been difficult, especially when you're coming up to match days as well. That's when you really kind of do miss it. But obviously, I wasn't playing as much the last 2 seasons, so you can kind of, and the last 5-6 seasons I've been preparing, doing the coaching badges and stuff. So you're preparing yourself for it. Yeah, it softens the blow, but it's still difficult at times.
Chance for Chelsea. Ooh.
When you're coming in watching a game like this, that's when it.
I bet you want to be out there.
What is the number one thing you kind of miss as an ex-pro?
The matches.
Yeah, just match day.
You're not missing much of training and stuff. You miss in the pre-season stuff.
Miss Ronaldo's dinner invite.
There you go.
Loving that.
And obviously the game days are the big one, but the dressing room type of, obviously we're still close to the dressing room now, but it's not the same.
What was it like? Like leaving Manchester United, where you had obviously huge characters, big siege mentality, to go to, a club like Sunderland. It's still a big club in its own right. Great fans, like you said, but. Did you bowl up into training like day one and think, this isn't Man United, is it?
No, but that's the thing. You're aware of that. Obviously, strong. Look at that, strong from Maguire there. Very good. You're aware of that beforehand, and obviously the season chance. Go on, Rashford.
Rashford's in it. Love it. Oh, just overhit the pass.
Jeffrey back to
Lingard.
Yeah, come on.
Still with United.
Great.
That's the big goal! Come on, United! Big goal! 64 minutes on the clock. Come on, Martial's recently been given the number 9 shirt, and he makes it 2-0. John O'Shea, you're very happy with that.
What a cross. When we've spoken about Pereira, he's been quiet.
Yeah.
When we talked about it, what a ball in.
That's like some
Martial,
vintage classic counter-attack.
And the position.
And maybe
the desire from Martial to get in front of the defender.
Oh, he's taken up a number 9 position there, not a wide left player.
Here we go, replay of the
Maguire.
Talk us through this, John.
The strength of Maguire.
All starts from Harry winning that, doesn't it?
Yeah, but cleverly, normally you'd say Martial would have been in that position, Rashford would have been in through the middle.
Yeah. Okay,
Rashford, you can see Martial's a bit upset.
Yeah.
Rashford's not come back to him, but look, stays positive. What's a ball in?
That's up to the
ball.
It was in the 4 there, just ducking out the wall.
It's an absolutely lovely whip in. Martial, 4 yards out, cannot miss from there, but it's a tidy finish.
Christensen.
2-0, Man United.
Why is he ducked?
It's the wrong side of him, yeah.
Oh,
is it no
That's Aspilicueta, isn't it?
I was just going to say, there was
And he's taken an absolute...
He's
taking some
delighted with that, Ollie. Hugging Mike Phelan and Carrick as well. 2-0 United. Chelsea haven't actually played that badly throughout the game. United have just been a lot more clinical. 3rd goal in his last 2 Premier League appearances against Chelsea.
A lot more balance though, second half, hasn't it?
Interesting sub to bring you as well. Worth pointing out, Christian Pulisic did come on for Ross Barkley as well. And Tammy Abraham's also just gone off, so Chelsea looking to switch it up a bit as well. Tammy Abraham off for Olivier Giroud. That has just happened earlier. Pulisic towards Barkley. Rashford, what a finish!
Be checking it. They might go check it, but what a finish!
That Paul Pogba pass should not be allowed on TV before the watershed. That is absolutely disgusting.
Hey, that was fantastic.
What a finish!
That's the quality. That's
Only
the quality.
seconds between. We're just talking about the second goal. The 3rd one's gone in. We can't keep up. 66 minutes on the clock.
We got a checker. We got
Frank Lampard looks dejected.
They talk about obviously Lampard's making the change.
Yeah,
hoping for the impact straight away.
Is that Giroud's fault then? Yeah. Oh, that pass was outrageous.
United very clinical today, John.
Because as you said, they've not had. Well, Chelsea had more. They created more as well at half time.
Yeah.
I was talking about
He's well on.
Chelsea haven't been
Yeah,
as
he's
good.
well on.
Nowhere near as good as they were in
It's
the
a
first
lovely
half,
touch and
yeah.
a fantastic pass from Pogba. Must be 20, 30 yards.
the connection. Remember?
And the first touch as well here.
Nice little bit of interchange from
Jesse Lingard
Wan-Bissaka
knocks
and
it to
Lingard.
Pogba. What a ball that is.
That's like a little sandwich.
Outside the boot, first touch.
You'd be happy with that, of
Rashford
course,
just
wouldn't you,
strokes
John?
it
A little 58-degree there.
Oh,
He's just,
fantastic. Look at that. So when
good
United
fun.
win the title this year, John, do you think it'll be the greatest Premier League? Fantastic
I mean, what a
start.
start for Rashford. The pressure's on him. You know, that alleviates an awful lot of pressure. You know, in the press. 2 goals on his first match there.
You spoke about obviously Rashford and Martial getting double figures.
Good start for him. I mean, it's a perfect start so far for Ollie. Let's go to Will on the stream. I can see a lot of exclamation marks and what must be very happy Man United fans. What are they saying?
Got my first Lampard out of the season. 67 minutes in. Zuma is more inconsistent than Ramos. A lot of people questioning Chelsea's defence. John, you'll have a much more insight than I have. What that line there was sloppy to say the least.
Obviously, we just said about United are 3-0 up, but Chelsea actually hadn't been too bad.
At least the first 45.
Second half, yeah. But no, from that cross as well, I think it was Christensen. Yeah, he looked as if he kind of not ducked, but he was worrying about the man that was close to him.
Yeah.
And Pereira did whip the ball in fast, but
A lot of questions now. Selling David Luiz.
that's what'll pop up. That's what'll pop up.
95 seconds between the second and the third goal.
Wow.
I mean, it's not that generous now, given how Chelsea have sort of deteriorated second half. But what an introduction to life in the Premier League.
What's the age
Frank
of
Lampard.
Christensen and Zuma? As in terms of, it's like a centre back.
Baptism of
You
fire.
know what I mean?
As a partnership
as
as well.
a partnership.
At least with Van Dijk, with Gomez, he's got Van Dijk next to him, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I suppose it was chaotic first half, but there is a bit more intensity in United's pressing, and been a bit more fearless in terms of where they're positioned at back four when they're out of possession as well. They've been much higher at the pitch.
If you're two centre backs or a back four and you're facing Martial and Rashford, and you're wanting to play a high line, and then we've just seen the quality of Pogba's pass.
Yeah.
Like he has shown the pass last season against Tottenham to Rashford that time. Similar, they've got a great link.
Chelsea free kick, whipped in, good ball. Oh, headed over. John, how damaging could this be? Because we saw the first half. If anything, I think we're sort of in agreement. Chelsea probably had the better chance, even though they're 1-0 down. Had performance-wise, we spoke to Zach Jalab at half-time. Chelsea fan at Old Trafford seemed quite happy with how things are going. The scoreline now is 3-0. If this suddenly becomes 3 or 4-0 in Frank Lampard's first Premier League match, how damaging would that be? What do you think?
Look, it will be damaging, but the way the social media world will react and is reacting already, it's crazy. But look, Frank Lampard will be given time. But the momentum swing for Solskjaer is going to be huge from a result like this.
He needed to give in the end of this.
Exactly,
season
and I think with maybe people talking about, they could have got a striker in and they could have got another midfielder in.
To be fair to look at the intensity of the press there. There's so much more.
Really,
I mean, that's where
really sharp as well for game one as well, don't they?
And to be fair to Ollie, that's what he spoke about. There's a chance there.
Chance for Chelsea in the attack. Pedro.
Come on.
Is this where you bring on someone like a Greenwood now when you're 3-0 up?
Greenwood or James.
Confidence,
well,
you think,
for the Chelsea obviously have to go for a bit more, and the counter-attacking pace of Greenwood or James will.
You wouldn't want that.
If you're that defender, you're not wanting that coming on.
Mentality-wise, like Chelsea 3-0 down, you're back 4, 20 minutes left. Do you actually still believe you can get back into this?
Oh, totally you can. But with the quality of players these two teams have, you're thinking one goal before 75.
Yeah, you've got a chance.
You're thinking, okay, next goal by 85. You're thinking,
there we go.
But you're worrying about the commitment of pushing too many players forward with what we've just spoken about, the counter-attack. If they do, Ollie might think, I'll leave Rashford and Martial on. You know what I mean? I know it's early on in the season, but getting that confidence.
Get the goals tally up.
Well, we talked about getting the goals against like top opposition as well, isn't it? Like Rashford and Martial scoring against the top 6. Very tidy.
It's interesting with Solskjaer as well, because with Sky Bet, made Ole Gunnar Solskjaer favourite to be
Lovely,
the
that was.
first Premier League manager to leave his position. 6 to 1 you can get Sky Bet. Of all the managers in the Premier League, first to leave his position.
It's not unreasonable. Like the Solskjaer would be kind of in and around that list. Like talent-wise, where do you actually think Solskjaer ranks in the 20 managers we've got in the Premier League? I'd say it's the bottom half.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Well, that's on what evidence though?
Just with the pedigree of the others. Like I'm not. That might sound a little bit harsh because he's not really had the time to generate that pedigree. But is he?
That's the thing. I'd be saying, give him the chance to generate that pedigree,
but
and
just,
then he can have a.
But that's
he can
the
have a bit more of a,
fairest way to rank them, though, right? Like, is he better than Brendan Rodgers? Is he better than Nuno Espirito Santo? Like, I wouldn't say so. And they're managing at the 6th, 7th, 8th clubs. It's Marco Silva.
But they're not managing Manchester United.
Yeah.
How is this?
But without being that, without being a hero at the club, formally, does he get the opportunity? Like, it's great that he's got that.
But that's what's up for debate. He has. Now this season is his proper full season, and he's had a transfer window. So now there can be a lot more judgment put on him now.
And United do give managers a little bit more time, don't they, than your average club?
Oh, a couple of good subs to bring you. Jorginho's just gone off, and N'Golo Conte coming on for Chelsea. So your face is speaking 1,000. You're not having
it
that
might
sub,
look like a defensive sub, but
yeah.
obviously it can reshape the team to be more attacking. So I know you're.
Come on, John. Just give you've got the 2-hour train from Manchester. You're a Chelsea fan. You're 3-0 down, and you see N'Golo Kante come on. It's not the most inspiring, is it?
We'll
score a scream.
Another sub as well. Pereira is off. Daniel James on. Exciting to see him, John.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is the ideal scenario for him. He couldn't have scripted it better for him to come in to that 3-0 up, chance to show that blistering pace and get involved quite quickly.
Was he someone, obviously you've got more experience in the Championship than all of us? Even watching it, more so is what I meant. Do you think Daniel James is ready for that step up in the same way that sort of Maddison was last season?
Yeah, well look, maybe not as much.
Or is it going to be a slow burn?
Exactly, a bit more of a slow burner compared to Maddison. Maddison was really... I'm not sure how many games Daniel James had played for Swansea, but I don't think it was too much compared to Maddison.
Maddison had an amazing season for Norwich, didn't he?
Exactly.
He was going to go somewhere, you felt, if it wasn't Leicester.
And he was definitely more prepared for it, but quality-wise, he's definitely up for the Premier League.
I'm still not giving up on my Championship career, John. So, I think that you'll give me a
also, we
little,
could have cut it short, but it was a very good Ole Gunnar Solskjaer debate between Chris and John. So I suppose my follow-up question to that was, you know Ole Gunnar very well, teammate of yours for years. Have you spoken to him recently about Man United?
Oh, they were in.
What conversation have you had with him, and do you think he will be a success for Man United long term?
Yeah, look, I have spoken to him, but I know the type of player. I know how he... obviously, he's different a player to a manager, but I like the he might approach, how he's going to manage, what he will do. He knew he faced so much competition to get into the team, to be in a squad. What it's like, what he knows how to get that competitive squad. He knows what he needs to see from his players, if they're going to be ready, if they're going to be able to perform. His examination and training of knowing, right, I'm not starting tomorrow, but I know what I'm going to need to get into the team.
On the other end
my mentally, Ollie, you just knew the manager had so much faith in him to know that when he was going to come on, examining things of, right, he's going to produce for me. I can start him this game, I can't start him this game, and he'll know exactly that detail that will go into his preparation, because obviously he's not got as much experience managing yet.
No.
So he's got the opportunity.
That was the point you were making to Chris, that he needs that time.
He needs that time to be judged.
But it's
more
a little
so
bit like Lampard, isn't it? It's an awful lot to ask. In a way, it's unfair asking them to produce that early on in their managerial career.
Exactly, but they know they will be judged harshly because they're at the clubs that they're at. So he will. He'll have to cope with that. And the only way you do cope with it better is.
We had Andy Cole on, didn't we? And he was saying that he didn't ever have him down as a future manager. Certainly at Manchester United. So you did. You're saying you did. You got that. A sense of his characteristics and.
Well, you don't. I definitely would have got a sense of them being a man manager, being able to examine, seeing people how they work, to get the best from a person.
Just good on a human level.
Yeah, totally, and that's a huge part of it now. When you look at, say, Guardiola, when you look at
Klopp,
like It's
They're all
Pochettino.
like
They're all
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
okay.
You adopt that into your coaching style.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Give me a chance. Please.
Come on, man.
You're putting Solskjaer on that place. I've been in it a few weeks.
When are you going to take over at United? That's what I'm asking.
No, I really hope he produces, because you want a competitive Manchester United, don't you?
Yeah.
Totally.
You don't want them to
Totally.
kind of,
And I
finish
think
the season the way they did last season and just roll.
I'll say that.
Ollie, watch Ollie's interview. If it does stay 3-0 afterwards, or at the end, he will just be playing it down. Good start.
Yeah.
Just nice and simple. On to the next game. There won't be.
But he's already had that like massive high and kind of massive.
Yeah, and that's where the judgment. That's where the judgment is unfair, because you have to give a manager a transfer window, a chance to adopt fully his ideas, etc. And that's where you'll have to give Lampard the time too to. Okay, Kovacic and Pulisic were in before he had the. Or did he give the go ahead for Kovacic?
Maybe have a guy, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you probably had to, didn't they? Because they were banned.
They
That was just
didn't
getting,
have any other option,
to
did
clear
they?
the red
Just couldn't
tape.
buy
Yeah,
enough.
it's worth bringing him in regardless. Yeah, good player, Kovacic.
It's interesting point. Well, I think Chris makes a very interesting point that when you're looking at the players that, like, for instance, Conte's left out, whether he's fully fit or not, we don't know. But if that was under Sarri, you said earlier that he would be scrutinised, that Frank Lampard and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will probably both be afforded more time, because they are such idols from a playing perspective with the fans, aren't they? Frank Lampard, you'd think the Chelsea fans, they will want that to work so badly, won't they? Because they adore that man.
Yeah, exactly. But you would imagine Kante. There
must be a reason.
Must be. Look, he wasn't involved in the game against us a few weeks ago either. There was talk of him having obviously an injury.
Yeah.
So you'd imagine that's the case, and so early on in the season
Away
too.
from home, you probably want to start.
You're thinking, I need to get some minutes into him.
Yeah.
It's not the game to be starting him into. Although I'm sure if he has been training this week, he would have been able to cope with it. But you want him for the rest of the season. You don't just want him for the first game.
Kovacic, interestingly, bought 3 days before Lampard was announced. That deal was done, but as you say, Chelsea with a transfer embargo didn't have many other options in terms of who they could have brought in. Right, this is an interesting one. If it finishes like this, it will be Man United's biggest win against Chelsea since January 2009. That was 3-0 win at Old Trafford. John, you came on as a second-half sub that day. Can you remember who
just to
scored the
shore
goals?
things up.
Oh, Rashford with another chance.
Oh, good.
That's Kante.
We'll stay with this
He's
until
so good, isn't he, Kante? So good.
Yeah, he looks quite fit there.
Seems he looks very fit. So I'll repeat that now. Now it's a bit of a lull in play. If it finishes like this, it will be Man United's biggest win against Chelsea since January 2009.
You got it, mate.
You won 3-0, Premier League win at Old Trafford, January 2009. You came on as a second-half sub. Can you remember who scored the goals that day? 3 goals for Man United, 3 separate goal scorers. Who were they? Don't look at the screen.
Is this for all of us? No.
Anyone? It wasn't Ronaldo.
Rooney.
Oh, well, Berbatov.
Rooney
then.
was one. Berbatov was one.
Tevez.
Correct. Who scored the third?
Rio.
No.
John O'Shea.
No.
I love how quickly you said no when he said
I
John
knew it,
O'Shea.
Oh, hold
So
on.
Rooney, Berbatov. Who scored the third?
Giggs, Scholes.
No, Nani.
Wasn't Nani. If anyone knows, get involved.
Anderson.
Wasn't Anderson.
Was Berbatov as a person
Park.
as cool as his play?
Yeah. He was. Oh, to be fair, he was a good lad. He was quiet, like.
Do you think he'd be good for a football social, Berbatov?
Very good.
You reckon?
Very good.
Just with a cigar on the end of the thing, just like. Sorry, what are you boys talking about?
Third goal scorer.
Come on, get it in the comments now if you know.
Owen Hargreaves.
No, it wasn't.
No.
I was like, he's annoyed.
Yeah, get involved. At Football Daily, at Soccerham. Who scored that third goal? It was Man United 3.
Hernandez.
Huh?
Chicharito.
No, it was 3-0 Man United at Old Trafford.
Danny Welbeck.
And 9.
Darren Fletcher.
Here we go.
Go on then.
Chance for Man United.
Lob it.
Drive.
Pogba. Oh,
Play him in. Oh, nice. Daniel James. What a dream debut.
big goal! Man United running riot 4-0 against Chelsea. And is that man there, Daniel James? What a moment for that young man.
Incredible moment.
Yeah, because
I mean,
didn't his old man pass away as well recently?
Yeah,
so
he spoke about it.
Yeah, that'd be great, for him and his family. That's fantastic.
incredible.
How did
And
Paul
look,
Pogba sneak that through, by the way?
I'm just going to say, everyone questioning Pogba, how's he? Ole Gunnar said it right from the start of pre-season. He won't be going. I obviously have a lot of faith in him, and he's repaid him today so far.
You called it as well with
That's
Daniel
nice,
James
man,
running
yeah.
down
Yeah,
them
it's
fullbacks.
Yeah, look at it. If we probably go back and see the replay of it now, you'd imagine he probably caught up. I remember one of the pre-season games out in Australia.
That's lovely.
Was it Leeds or Port?
Yeah, they played Leeds.
But there was a counter-attack moment, and he flew past.
Carried it 90 yards.
Oh my God.
So let's have a look. Here's the replay. John, talk us through another counter-attack as well.
Does anyone see him coming?
Great play from Matt.
Where is it?
Pogba, you
We
think
need
that...
to we need to.
Lovely touch from Pogba.
And you just think he's messed it up. Took a
deflection,
but still.
deserves a little bit of green now for being there.
You're going to imagine it's going to be on target. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's going to be his goal.
It will be awarded his goal because it was going on target, but the deflection does take it past Kepler.
Nice,
worth
love
pointing
that.
out.
There was a lovely bit of play there as well from, I'm sure it was Rashford. Was it Rashford or Martial just sliding it back into... Was it Martial?
Yeah. It was a nice play.
Sliding them back
And look at this. It's lovely, the emotion as well. You saw him point to the sky. Obviously, he lost his father. Very sad news recently, and this will be such a nice moment for that young man. Look at the raw emotion there.
The script for United today has been like...
Everyone who's been questioned, isn't it?
Well, not even like the signings,
Quite reminiscent of when United beat Tottenham when Solskjaer first took over, and it was like Tottenham had a bit of the play, then it was those split forwards just kind of killed them.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting to a moment now. Sorry for Lampard. They've really got a...
Kante's a good substitution.
Yeah, you were questioning it. He's probably thinking, "Oh, let's keep it as it is," because...
Yeah, let's see how the Chelsea fans, everyone was saying he's going to get the full year. He's a club legend. There's not really much to lose with the transfer embargo. If this happens against 2 or 3 of the big 6, then I'll see how patient.
And also, it's worth pointing out with the goal and with the questions, we still haven't got the player that scored the third goal.
Tevez?
No, it's not Tevez. Doesn't matter how many times you say Tevez.
Nemanja Vidic.
It is Nemanja Vidic.
In the first half.
No, he knows it now.
Yeah, now you know it.
Berbatov got the last one, I think. Anyway.
Vidic with the first, Yuri with the second, Berbatov with the third, correct, yeah.
I'd actually love to get Vidic. I think he could just...
I feel like I'd be talking to a hitman if Berbatov was
I'd be sat more like this. I'd be like...
If Berbatov was just on the end there and he's like silver suit, I'd be like, I'm just dripping with sweat. Just like, what do I ask him? He just seems so disinterested.
For Wan-Bissaka, Daniel James, Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Okay, just made a mistake. Sorry for commentators' caution, but to experience Old Trafford like this in their first home game,
They just want it all the time
will
now.
just give them such a buzz. Such a buzz.
It's an underrated part of it as well. We speak about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but that backroom staff with McKenna, Phelan, and Michael Carrick.
Ooh,
That could be. Is that slightly underrated and under
Totally.
Well, Chelsea are the same, haven't they? A lot of ex-players in the backroom staff at Chelsea as well.
It's definitely going to be underrated because look, Ollie would have come in, seen the work that the lads do, and obviously having worked with Mick before to get him alongside. But obviously he didn't have to keep Michael. He didn't have to keep McKenna as well.
Chance to Chelsea.
When Moyes came in, he sort of gutted the whole backroom staff, and everyone was very kind
That was the thing. You probably could have thought you could have done it, but waited a year.
Just do it gradually.
Do it gradually if you want. But understandably too, he thought that was his best thing to do. Clean
break,
cut.
Worked out well for him, obviously.
Yeah.
So was Moyes there when you were at Sunderland?
He was, yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
So,
He was.
Good manager.
Did a good job at West Ham.
Good timing.
It's a double substitution, John. Would you like to change the subject? John is going to change the subject by letting us know who is coming on the pitch. There we go.
Look, Greenwood and
Greenwood,
former Chelsea man Juan Mata as well.
He could pick this team apart.
Exactly. He normally always creates a goal as well when he starts for United too. So
Smash like
it's
Greenwood
great that they
scores
kept
now.
him. Obviously losing Herrera, people were talking about it, but keeping Mata is very important too because of that experience.
Marcus Rashford.
This kid, look, speaking to people at the club and other people, they've obviously been very, very positive about him. But just the faith that Ollie has shown as well, and maybe not going. Maybe they were looking at another striker, but.
Watching those compilation videos of him at under 23 level, and he's just like murdering
everything. Even though I went to that Milan game last week, and some of the skills he was putting on, it's unbelievable.
I think he's going to get minutes this season. I think
he's he definitely will.
I can't believe United are going to keep it clean. This is United's first. This would be, touch wood. United's. Why am I touching wood? I don't care. United's first clean sheet in 15 games. Like,
Wow.
and instantly, like that's going to be like Harry Maguire justified. Like this couldn't be a better first week.
He's already trying to pay back his fee and all that.
Selling Lukaku, you know, justified.
Better than Van Dijk.
Take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer off the bottom. It was at 6-1. Take him off the bottom. I think after this, it might be Frank, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, Frank Lampard. He must have thought how they 1-0 down at half time, but the second half, Man United played some brilliant football.
What did Ollie talk about? The team was lacking. Greenwood! That was nearly Greenwood. Wow.
I think that score was there. It's the perfect
reaction from the
sprint.
whole
If Greenwood had scored that, Ollie should have just walked in.
All that's missing now, a Mason Greenwood goal, and that is just the perfect day. Isn't
Just
it?
the wiped out from the start.
See you later, Frank. I'll see you inside.
But Man United have played some of the goals they've had, the build-up to the goals, and some lovely football.
Getting back to what Ole Gunnar spoke about when he'd the work rate of the teams, the intensity. People were saying, well, surely United must be fit. The high intensity of teams, I think might be wrong. Is that Spurs might have had the highest level of pressing type of stats.
Yeah, Liverpool eased off a little bit last season.
Yeah, so
I think across the whole season, Spurs had the highest, I believe.
Okay, and so Ollie was clear on it. He said, "This is what we need to improve." So you could see it a lot more in the second half, not as much in the first half. You could see it a lot more. They've worked on it.
I was just about to say what I've been really impressed with Man United is I was at Spurs yesterday, and Spurs, I think it's fair to say, weren't at their best. They didn't look at, there's a few misplaced passes. Arsenal, Dave, by your own admission, weren't as sharp as you've seen them previously. For first game, that is quite common. I made the point that I don't think you should read too much into first game when some players are late back to pre-season, you have injuries, etc. But I've been so impressed with how fit and how quick Man United have been in this game. They've just been on it.
Good header there.
Especially in the second half.
If Emerson wraps away that one that hits the near post, then it could be a very different game. So,
but the fitness levels of United for game one look amazing.
No, but the thing I would say, if they couldn't do it the first game, then they're in big trouble. If they can't, because it's the first game at home.
The belief, the confidence, the momentum. You're thinking
at that high level. So I don't know. It's been a very good performance from United, but we'll kind of see where they are in a few games. I think.
So we're in the 88th minute, few minutes left plus injury time. Chelsea, United fans get involved in the stream. Will, what are they saying? There must be loads. What are Chelsea fans saying as well? 4-0, no one predicted this.
There's a few optimistic ones talking about a 5-4 comeback, but some people are already talking about Frank Lampard's legacy, if it would be ruined, if he has a terrible managerial record, and just a lot of people just can't get over this United team. Just turning the performance in and the quality that they have done.
There will be lots more questions to be answered, but
a lot of people talking about the fact they've had nearly 60% possession as well, but obviously done nothing with it.
That was the case under Sarri a lot of the time, wasn't it? I guess that's kind of still remnants of Sarri keeping hold of the ball.
But as you said, the chances, the shot from Abraham, that's a straight yellow, isn't it?
You just feel like if Eden Hazard was on the pitch, one of them would have hit the back of the net, didn't you?
Oh, without a doubt.
More than one, maybe,
exactly. That was Daniel James getting taken out. I think it's going to happen quite a few times this season.
Daniel
I think.
James,
that's what he's here for, isn't it? Stuff like that.
Exactly.
Run the clock.
But the timing as well to bring on Daniel James was just perfect, wasn't it?
And then for him to score as well was perfect, wasn't it?
Any more, Will?
Just a lot of people
just
kind of really in disbelief, much like ourselves, about Chelsea and sort of predicting their league position, and someone just put down for 10th place for Chelsea.
10th place?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this is social media, so we take it with a pinch of salt.
Do you think of all the top six, if you're looking at a team that will struggle to get into fourth the most, do you think it will be Chelsea, bearing on the fact that they haven't been able to buy players?
That's a big part of it. And when you look at Arsenal's strike force,
Spurs have strengthened as well.
Spurs have strengthened, and obviously United have that vibrancy of maybe real, like Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, like that young.
So easy to generate that feel-good factor. If one of them scores as well, then the fans, it just means so much more to the fans.
Exactly, and it's going to be tough. Like Giroud coming on, he normally makes other players have a lot more joy because obviously he links them.
And he was great when Hazard was playing. When he had someone that played off him. How much
it's
was
the
you
same with
replay?
Griezmann at the World Cup as well, but equally, like, it's another year on. Like, he's not... If he's,
Well, he's not young, is he?
but if he's not starting games, then it must be hard to get a feel for...
especially to come on into a game like that.
high-intensity matches like this.
Santi's in again.
Go on then, Tony! Ah, he's off.
I really can't see Frank Lampard being a manager come May.
Come May?
No chance. I think they'll be in and around maybe the 8th spot. I really do. And then
what way do you think then, though? Because it's another January. They're banned for another.
Is it still? No,
I think it's a full calendar year, like full season.
Full season.
So they can't strengthen
So
in
it's not
January.
as if they can give him a chance in January to.
Yeah, because I mean the thing is, it's all good giving the club legend the thing, but it's all fun and games. But if you're getting smashed 3-4-0 every week, you know, I'm not saying this can happen every week.
But that's the thing. Look, obviously he'll know that himself.
Yeah.
If they're 15, 20 games in and they have suffered a good few heavy defeats, I don't think it will be. I think Everton's fell perfectly for United in the second half in particular, deservedly so, because of how they've played in the second half. But the first half, Chelsea will probably feel a bit aggrieved that they're going in behind.
Sure. I think, I mean,
4 minutes of injury time.
The quality in that squad,
time.
in Chelsea's team, they've still got one of the best midfields in Europe in a midfield three. You know, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic. You know, maybe not as dynamic, maybe not as quite like as simpatico as like a Leicester, for example. When you partner with the forwards, but the quality in that squad should dictate that they're around
Chelsea.
They're around sixth, right?
Oh, mamma mia.
So I suppose the question is, if they finish sixth, and there's more high caliber managers in the market, do you give Lampard the time to grow, or is it just like, thank you for carrying us through this turbulent period?
Yeah.
Here's another year. Like
that could be a way maybe the club were thinking. They think that
we're not appealing to
exactly
right now. Yeah.
So people looking at the budgets, or obviously there's no budget available, so I might hang on for a year or two and see if that job pops up then. You know,
bit of a thankless task. Yeah,
could be yours, John, in a year's time.
You know,
never say never.
Stone's throw from Reading, but
we'll see.
No.
Right, so we're into the 93rd minute. 4 minutes of additional time will be played, and it's been just a perfect day for Man United, really. Well, can Chelsea get one consolation? It doesn't look like they can. Man United win the ball back.
Good tackle there from.
Still going there. It's a great game, this. I can't get over how open this is. Last chance for Chelsea. Are they going to get a consolation? Oh, David De Gea parries it behind. It will be a corner. This will be the last chance of the game. Surely
You catch that.
Good saves from David De Gea. They've hit the post twice as well. They have had chances, Chelsea, but they've just not been clinical enough. And that was quite a routine save. Possibly could have caught that. Who am I to critique David De Gea because he is a much better goalie than I would ever be?
I'm catching it.
You catch it, exactly.
Probably not a goalkeeper in the future.
If you see me coming out for a corner, don't worry, I'm not catching that.
It's another header from Harry Maguire.
yeah. I mean, the show's got social media now.
There we go. Full time. That is the full-time whistle. These are the scenes right now from Old Trafford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beaming, the smile. Oh, someone wanted to get a photo with him. Didn't quite get it, I don't think.
That's the respect. He didn't want to be stopping him.
Good point. They wanted to take Frank Lampard's hand.
Go straight in.
Great game of football. 4-0 Man United won. It was a good first half from Chelsea. They had their chances. They didn't take them. Rashford opened the scoring with that penalty. Martial was on the score sheet as well. Just a perfect day, John, really.
I think at the interview with Sky, I think Sky did before with Rashford, I think he'd spoken about we just feel a bit more settled.
Okay.
And I think the second half performance just kind of really shows that. Obviously, they've had the injection of Maguire, James, but I think the feel about the place was more settled.
And they've all played as well. It's worth pointing out, I asked you at half-time who you're most impressed with. You said Wan-Bissaka. We did the stats about how well Harry Maguire played. Daniel James came on and scored. It's been, for the three debutants, a
clean
great
sheet
day.
as well.
Pogba's pass.
Yeah.
Just the 2 assists for him.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, but his attitude stinks, so that's the main thing.
Look, you'll see. The only worry is now. Obviously, there's a European transfer window.
Juventus is apparently still trying to put some together. Pennies to bring him.
There's Frank Lampard going to thank the travelling Chelsea fans. Long journey home for the Chelsea fans.
Well, here you go.
As the hand goes up.
What's your French?
The hand goes up. Oh no.
Good French.
Parlez-vous?
Yeah, what's your French name? What are they saying? Obviously,
Giroud saying 6-1 on Solskjaer. No chance.
No, we don't.
That's what I say.
Don't have French lip readers, but obviously Pogba and Martial very happy. Great game from Paul Pogba, and what a perfect day, really, for Man United. Will, let's go to the comments. Must be loads of happy Man United fans and dejected Chelsea fans. Let's read a few out. What are people saying on the stream?
From someone called ECS said, which moron thought Frank Lampard had the ability to manage Chelsea?
Wow. Bit of a spicy one. Right.
Daniel Carlson says, where do you think United will finish? John, I know you think they've got a real good chance for that fourth spot.
Yeah,
and that was pre-today, wasn't it?
No, exactly. I had the belief that they have enough quality to get into that top four, but it's a game like today. They're going to be bigger challenges, bigger tests for them to come, as in sustaining that kind of form. But I think they can definitely get into the top four. It's going to be close because Arsenal today obviously had a good win away from home, and with a team that started probably without 5 or 6 maybe starters that will be in about fitness-wise. So they have improved amazingly from, I think they had a budget of 40 million. They played that one well, didn't they? Well, I must have to remember that one if I get into management down the line. We only have a budget of 15 million. Next thing, 200 million spent. But no, look, there's going to be lots more challenges to come, but I think they can. I'd said it before the game today that they can get into that top four. But we spoke about momentum they can get from this too. If they can get on a bit more of a run, they'll have a lot.
Man of the match. We saw shots of Paul Pogba there. We saw Martial. It's tough to pick a man of the match there. If you had to pick a standout player, if John O'Shea was awarded the man of the match award, who does he give it to?
Probably go for Rashford.
Rashford.
Probably go for Rashford. I think how he won the penalty, took the penalty, how he finished his goal, the intensity he brought to the team. But you'd probably go to Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Pogba's assists. But I think Rashford just edges it.
It's nice when you're mentioning all these players. It's tough for you to answer. It just shows how well it's been for Man United.
Exactly, and look, it'll be interesting to hear the comments now from the studio in Sky there with Mr. Mourinho and Mr. Souness.
Jose Mourinho in the studio. Yeah, it will be, won't it? And absolutely loads of you joining the stream now, so let's get straight to social media questions. Thousands of you joining us for the post-match reaction. I imagine a lot of happy Man United fans. Let's take some of the comments, Will.
Yeah, people talking about the back four with Chelsea. Obviously, we were talking about Lindelof and Maguire, not played experience. Is that what Chelsea suffered from with those back two?
A little bit, and I think obviously with David Luiz just leaving, there will be a bit more scrutiny on that as well. Going just before the first league game, so there will be, and obviously he picked Emerson ahead of Alonso. That's another one maybe Chelsea fans might be thinking, but look, Azpilicueta has a lot of experience there as well, and he's he'll be under more pressure. He'll be wanting to organise a lot more, and it might take. He's accustomed to it, but it might take away a bit more from his game. That he's having to kind of cope with everyone else inside him and trying to help them. But no, look, they definitely have a lot to work on.
A lot of people mentioning Sarri in the comments as well. Do we think he was almost underappreciated last year by Chelsea fans?
Bear in mind, Chelsea finished third, won a trophy as well.
Okay, don't worry, May United played very, very well today. But if Chelsea had taken the chances, this game's completely different, right? You know, so let's I think that Sarri was. Respect the level he was. He did a very good job. He managed to win the league title. We managed to win like the Europa League, and he got them back in the Champions League football through like the league. I don't know what more he could have done, to be honest. So I don't know if that makes him under pressure or over. I just think it's going to be a tough job for Frank Lampard. Like the fact he can't bring any of his own players in, which is why I think they'll struggle the most. I really think they'll struggle to get anywhere near the top four.
Chelsea were unbeaten in their first 12 Premier League matches last season under Sarri.
Wow. I mean, it's difficult to bring in. Like when you're a manager, obviously changing the system, and Sarri had a very specific, rigid system. Changing the system is so difficult without being able to sign players. So you sympathise with Lampard from that perspective. But the sort of disdain that was constantly shown to Sarri, for his predictable substitution, Barkley coming on for Kovacic, sort of so on and so forth. I think what he was achieving, and it was maybe after February, people started to criticise him a little bit less when they went that strong run towards the end of the campaign. He was doing a lot with quite limited personnel. Obviously, having Eden Hazard helps, and not having 30 plus goal contributions, at your disposal when your defence is a little bit, doesn't pick itself. Can't help either. But to answer your question, I think he was probably the best suited candidate to get them Champions League football again. But is this going to be a long-term project for Frank Lampard, or is it, like we said, just kind of babysitting for a little bit? Well, never know with Abramovich teams.
The stats, it's an interesting one because Chelsea actually won a lot of the stats comparative to Man United. Obviously, people will look at the score. These are the important one. The one that John cares about is the 4-0 scoreline at the top. If you look, Chelsea had more attempts, more on target, more corners, and more possession, John. So Chelsea winning all of the stats except the important one, losing 4-0.
As we spoke about how they played in the first half. If Abraham's shot, he's caught it so clean that just drifts in a bit more. Emerson's.
United felt like high quality chances, though, didn't they? Where but a few of those Chelsea shots, I don't remember until about the 75th minute, David De Gea making a save, and there was a couple from outside the area. Like United's, I think defence coped pretty well with, in terms of.
That's a lovely ball, that, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just watching replays of these
goals.
goals.
Kickoff as well.
I'm excited to say as well, I know that Dave and Chris will be very happy about this next part because Zach can join us again now. Big Chelsea fan.
What's the score, buddy?
Zach, we're watching an absolutely beautiful photograph of you appear on our screen, smiling, beaming, wearing an England shirt. I imagine you're not smiling so much now. 4-0. What on earth happened in that second half?
Oh, mate. You know the term, if you don't laugh, you'll cry? That's how I think.
Can you start to explain what went wrong for Chelsea? Because we spoke to you at half-time and you were saying how well they performed in the first half, albeit you were 1-0 down. What do you think went wrong? There we go. He's speechless. He's gone. He's left us on that. As soon as he started asking what went wrong, he had enough of it.
His signal,
unfortunately, we have lost Zach, but he did sound sounded quite dejected. So maybe
I actually think he put the phone down there.
Do you think he did?
He's got
to work his way back, but we'll try and get back to Zach, of course. In the meantime, let's go back to Will. Any further updates on what people are saying about any Lampard?
Put you back on, Will.
You were talking about Lampard. Put you back on.
Let's hear the questions, Sean. Let's hear the questions.
Downloading a movie over there. Go on, what are people saying?
Football Manager. No, people just talk how much of a confidence boost will it be for that back four? De Gea obviously questioned at the end of last season, but new back four, clean sheet, great momentum.
Great momentum, but the exact perfect scenario for him. We spoke about Maguire coming in and Ambassador, but for me as well, a big bit of business to get De Gea to stay was crucial as well.
Good news. Zach is back with us. Zach, this is how excited we are. So we were asking you what went wrong second half. You were unfortunately interrupted. So, tell us what happened in that second half.
Oh, mate. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure what to say. It kind of felt like United came out with in the next gear, whereas Chelsea never really seemed to kind of go out of second gear. And in the first half, I actually thought we were unlucky to go in. Not having scored. I mean, we hit the woodwork twice, and then it kind of felt like Tammy Abraham started to find, the fitness of the Premier League a little bit hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the first 45 was actually pretty good. Quite a lot of the Chelsea players, whereas the second half just didn't seem quite up to it. Look, it's not a surprise. Like Frank Lampard is a brand new manager. Things are going to be different. Like it will take time. Whereas they've had Ollie now for at least 6 months, so it will take time. It's a bit disappointing, but I mean. No, I really want 4-0. That was the sad part. 2-0 I could have taken, but 4 makes me cry.
Lampard out by Christmas, Zach. Is that what we're saying?
Sorry.
Go on, Chris. Do you want to repeat that?
So, do you think the Chelsea fans will, going to stick by Lampard? A couple more of these results go against you.
Yeah, no matter what happens, they'll stick by him. At the end of the game, they will still all sing "Super Frank." They all love this Frank went over to the clapping. Yeah, with Frank Lampard, no matter what happened, like literally no matter what happened, he was the worst of the worst.
Oh, wow. That's definitely not true.
Yeah, we'll hold that.
We'll hold that. Zach, on a serious note, Zach, obviously you've lost 4-0. It's a big defeat. I'm coming to the positive. I'm not just trying to dig you out here. It is 4-0. It is Man United. It is Old Trafford. Are you worried now throughout the season, or do you just think this is one result? Things went against you, a bit unlucky. How do you think this affects the rest of the season for Chelsea?
As you said, I think it's just one result. I think we'll see. As always in Sunday, the first 5 games are arguably the most important. That's where you set some solid ground, and that's where you can work upon. I mean, the boys look like they've got a lot to work on. But I mean, they've got the team there. Jody Morris, the assistant manager, and the rest of the guys. There's definitely something there. Look, there's no way I say we'll be challenging for the title. Our aim is top 6. and kind of we'll see where we go from there. I mean, we haven't had a transfer window, and we've had to use our youth to the best of our degree. So I'm just trying to see how we'll see this as the season goes.
And next game, Leicester at home. Another tough game that for Chelsea, isn't
Massive game, Zach. Absolutely massive game, mate. 6-pointer.
John O'Shea has just described that as a 6-pointer.
Oh, all right. Let's calm down. Jesus. Let's calm down. No, I think Leicester will be a big game. Leicester, as I said, it'll be a massive game. They win today? I haven't even think.
They drew 0-0 to Wolves.
I mean, we struggled against Wolves last season. We struggled against Leicester last season. So, and we haven't added any other players to our squad. So, it's going to be a tough game, and a lot of our games are tough. That's the Premier League for you. You can lose any game. So we'll just have to see what happens, really. Let's hope the boys put the work in on the training pitch. And I think we've got Liverpool midweek, haven't we?
No Super Cup, isn't it?
You have, yes.
Istanbul. It's going to 5-0,
there's
mate.
no easy games, Zach, for Chelsea coming up.
Oh, no.
Yes, I'll be tired.
Zach, on a serious note, thank you very much for joining us from Old Trafford. Get home safe. He sounded like he was more happy than I thought he would be.
Yeah, I think
Is that just Zach?
No, I think he's probably on the waters. I think he's had a few waters. Yeah. Yeah, big.
Sounded like he was underwater there.
Really enjoyed that. Just finally, John, great day at the office as well. Man United, realistically, where do you think, looking at where you think they'll finish, and has that changed based on what happened today?
No, I just think if they can compete solidly for the top four, get into the top four comfortably, the new signings keep growing in stature like they had done today, and win the Europa League, win that competition, win a cup. Like, it's those type of things they should be aiming for. Inside, they would have been talking about winning the league, but obviously I think they're not. The squad isn't up at Liverpool's or City's, but I think they could, with the momentum they could get from a result like this, they could be thinking, well, we can finish ahead of Spurs.
They started to put together, that trophy cabinet, didn't they? Building that winning mentality under Mourinho, but then he kind of fell out with the players. And I don't envisage that happening with Solskjaer. So you think if they can find the same level of success, then internally the camp is going to be a little bit more, simpatico of one another.
Without a doubt, and especially from what Rashford spoke about earlier on before the game today, about how settled everything was within the camp from the pre-season, from the players arriving.
When you hear that as a ex-player, you're like, oh, that's genuine. That's genuine.
Totally. And you can tell, obviously, from last season, Mourinho was looking for signings, looking for certain things, and it just felt unsettled.
Edgy,
it felt edgy. He'd spoken about it, so it's one. It's a good timing, wasn't it?
He looks more great timing. Looking at
shaking the head
now.
He looks more annoyed that they've won 4-0 than he's happy. Great performance by Paul Pogba.
So just looking at shots a minute. Guys, that is all we've got time for. Thank you very much, John. Firstly, John, lucky opening for Man United. Will Brazier, always a pleasure. Brilliant work on Social Corner, as always. Chris and Dave, brilliant as well. Good day for your Gunners as well, Dave.
Lovely,
it's worth pointing out. Good day for Man United. And we, of course, will be back next week. The Football Social is on at 2:45 next Saturday. Soccer and Football Daily YouTube channel. So we'll be looking at a host of games then. So from all of us, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. See you soon, and here's our best bits. Play on for United. Half chance for United. Rashford. Oh! That's a penalty. Does he score? Yes or no, John?
Yeah, he scores.
He's too straight, John.
Oh, watch. There you go. Opens to the side.
John O'Shea says goal. Oh! Penalty that is.
Speaking to Wayne not so long ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, look, he's...
He'll be a rival, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He said he's looking forward to facing me on the sidelines. He said he's going to make sure he's not starting that game.
Last 5 minutes of the half. Chance for Chelsea. They've just hit the underside of the. How is it not level?
What was it like to train with Ronaldo, and did he get past you many times in training?
Oh, of course he did. He got past everyone in training, not just me.
With United.
Great.
That's the big. Come on, Man United.
Do you think he'd be good for a Football Social, Berbatov?
Very good. Very good.
Just with a cigar on the end of the thing.
Just happened earlier.
He's got
4. It's 3-0 Man
What a dream debut.
Big goal! Man United running riot, 4-0 against Chelsea. And is that man there, Daniel James? What a moment for that young man.
Incredible moment.